Welcome back to the Vigor Life Podcast. And as you may have known, and we know there's an episode before this, but it's been like about a year plus of a pause on this. And I'm making a comeback. We're making a comeback. I'm going to get very consistent with it. And really, I was kind of upset at myself for even putting a pause on it. And I could talk about all the things that are going on in life and in business and all those different things. But it's irrelevant. You know what I mean? We're back on track. And really, part of me is just fiending to get all this stuff out of myself. I may have shared, at least on social media, if you follow me, that I'm writing a book that's going to launch sometime early next year. We're probably about 6 to 7 chapters in right now. I'm working hard to finish the book, like I said, somewhere towards the end of this year. But I wanted to, like I said, the feedback from the podcast has been, always great. And I've had more and more people continuously reach out to me to continue doing more. And I wanted to do that. And like I said, enough about that, enough about me. I wanted to make this one absolute fire from a standpoint of giving you almost a master class on today, in this day and age, in this time, building your fitness business. And a lot of it, this is going to be mostly for person-to-person coaches, although a lot of it will relate also to if you're doing online coaching. So if you're a gym owner, if you're a personal trainer just starting, or you're experienced, you've been in it for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Like I said, I've been doing this for close to 20 years with 16 years of gym ownership. I promise you a lot of stuff I'm going to share. We're going back to it right now because I've said this before, but I believe, one of the greatest opportunities, as much as I love social media and I'll talk about it, and I think that's something you should be investing your time in, but something that people are not investing enough time in is offline marketing. So I'm going to share some of my thoughts around that. So, this is going to be a master class from a standpoint of hey, how to succeed right now if you want to be successful from a standpoint of impacting as many people as possible, generating leads and clients predictably and sustainably. So you have a system for it. To having, to make money. I mean, let's be real. Who doesn't want to make, their career successful also from a standpoint of, making money and as much of it as possible? Because look, even the mindset of that, I want to kind of interrupt you and make sure that you understand that, the more money that you make, the more you can help people. You can build your team, you can pay your team better, you can advertise more, you can get a bigger facility, you can give back to charity and philanthropy more. You know what I mean? When people are I just love doing this, I don't care about the money. But if you dug deeper, the reason why they do it is usually things like when they say making more of an impact. Absolutely. Can you make more of an impact with more money? 100%, because you can market more, you can deliver an even better experience, right? Because you put money back into your business, into your coaching, into your team if you have a team. And then also you can give back more. You can give more to philanthropy. Also, let's be real. Let's be really real. Who's the tightest knit circle of, I would say, your world? It's your friends, your family, especially your family. How can you do the most for them? So I want you to, like I said, this is important because sometimes, I'll go through a lot of this stuff and I got my laptop here. I got notes. I mean, remembering all of this would be kind of insane and crazy, but you owe it to be the best you can possibly be, make the most money you possibly can, and do it because you create so much value in the world, because you serve your marketplace and the people that you're helping, right? That's the reason you should make it. So it's you're not chasing money. What you're chasing is the impact of solving people's problems, really helping them change and get the results that they want. And because of that, you get rewarded in a lot of different ways. I would say fulfillment of what we do is one of the greatest rewards, right? Loving what we do. But of course, the other part should also be a profitable business that allows you to have security and freedom and, be able for you to live your life the way that you want to. I don't know what that is, right? Some people want to work more, some less, some whatever it may be. I don't that's not for me to decide. But I am here poking you a little bit to say, it is your duty to market, to sell the services that you truly believe in so that, you can help as many people as possible and so that you can live the life that you really want to have and build, okay? So with that said, it's kind of where do we even begin? Well, number one, and this is the at least not the training side of things. Even on the customer experience, we'll touch on it for sure some today. But I assume, and if I put it this way, if my assumptions are off, like you got to continuously get better at training, right? How do you deliver your product and service? Well, I call it the 3 C's. You know, it's going to be part of the book, and I'll touch on these inside of the podcast today. But also, you know, that part we're going to leave somewhat for another day. The X's and O's. Obviously, I've done a lot of podcast episodes on the training side of things, but you have to have a training system that helps people get results, right? And how does that happen? Well, it happens by learning, right? By studying. I would say this is where the cook and the chef analogy comes into play, especially if you're, you know, somewhere in the beginning stages, the first years of you being in the industry, right? Like I always say, like at first you want to be a cook. You know, the cook gets a cookbook, and then they learn the cookbook and how to create the meals, right? And the meals taste great because a chef created those meals in the cookbook, right? And so you're practicing and learning to cook the meals that have already been outlined, right? And to me, that's a system. Like, so, you know, following people that you really admire in the training world, whether that's, you know, the Kpis from DeFranco and Smitty, whether it's functional strength coach from Mike Boyle, pain-free performance training from Dr. John Russin, Prescript from Dr. Jordan Shallow, or complete coach certification from Mike Robertson. I could go on and on and on, but the point being is like learning from these people that do this in the real world. You know, I'm going to add my training certification to this very soon. It's 2023. It's going to be some of me working on that as well. But like learning from the folks that are doing this in the real world and then applying it. And applying it will give you experience, right? It won't instantly make you the best in the world, right? Because you got to get the hours. You got to get the practice in. Just like I said, in basketball, if you want to become a great shooter, you got, not only do you have to shoot a lot, you have to shoot perfect shots to go into the basket, right? So that means that sometimes you have to go closer to the basket to make the shot, and as you get better, you move further away from the basket, and as you get better, now you have defenders, and then as you get better, you practice harder and harder shots, right? But the point being is like you got to put the practice in. You know, there's a lot of theory going on in the industry right now. You read a book and you're like doing theoretical stuff, but I'm telling you, like if you're not in the trenches putting in the work, whether that's one-on-one training, semi-private, group training, whatever it is that you want to excel at, you got to put that work in. And again, you start by being a cook, right? You learn you learn the biomechanics, the program design, you learn how to apply these things, and then you got to get reps in, right? And the reps in is being on the field, on the court, which for you is going to be the floor, the gym, you know what I mean? Whatever you're going to be applying and coaching. So you got to get good at that. And because I believe that your training system should determine your business system, right? Because if you really believe in a training system and that's going to deliver the best results, that should then dictate the business system. And I'll give you an example. This happened a lot, you know, where people would be running massive boot camps. And again, we do large group training, so I believe in it, but they wouldn't offer other things. So they'd offer like this large group boot camp. And, you know, because it was at that point in time the most profitable thing, right? Get 50 people in a class, one coach, you know, they're paying whatever they may be paying, and you're like, ooh, margins, like this is best. But that means that like if I asked you and said, does that training system deliver the best results, or can you get better results through, you know, semi-private, one-on-one, having nutrition coaching, you know, smaller groups as well? Like what model is going to create that best result and experience for the people that you want to coach? And if you're like, yeah, well, you know, yeah, there would be other things that would be better. See, now you're out of integrity, I believe, at least it's my opinion, of what you're delivering to the client. So you learn the cookbook, learn the training systems that work, and then with time, you know, you can move from, you don't have to, but you can move from being a cook to being a chef, right? When you learn the rules and, you know, you really understand the principles of things like program design, and you understand like the X's and O's of all these different things, and you've had a lot of experience, then you know, you can kind of like break the rules. And that's not even breaking the rules, it's just being, you know, Bruce Lee with it, which is like, right, learning, taking what's useful, absorbing that, and then like rejecting what is useless. And I've learned a lot of systems where, I'm like, wow, there's bits and pieces here that are good, but like I can't use a lot of this in the setting with the people that I'm doing. I'm going to get rid of it. And that's how you make it your own, right? Now, the thing is, at the baseline of all this stuff, like, look, you got to have like those 3 C's. You got to get, the coaching. And remember, if the coaching is really great, which you should strive for, like excellence in this area, then you're going to get 3 R's, right? The coaching creates the 3 R's, results, right? I mean, people got to get results. If they get results, you'll get referrals, right? And you'll get retention. So those are the 3 R's. Because if you get results, people will talk about you, okay? Just like going to an excellent restaurant like that, if the food was so good, the experience was so good, nobody has to ask you how it was. A lot of times you'll just tell people, like, you got to go to this restaurant, it's so good. Right? That's how your coaching should be. Somebody comes to your class and they should be like, wow, mind blown, right? Like, I got coached, the energy was amazing. A person greeted me by name, like, even before I came in, they checked in on me, they followed up, making sure I was there. Right, I got if it was their first time, like they got an unexpected present, a smoothie, a Fit Bar, or they got a T-shirt, right? They got a follow-up text. Just the coaching, the care, the experience that they got was excellent. The community was excellent, right? So they loved the environment. People were supportive. The coaches were supportive. Other members were supportive. Remember, that's the culture you create. Okay, so those 3 C's got to be in place. And we'll, in this masterclass, we'll talk a little bit about the customer experience side of things, because I feel like, you could have good coaching and an extraordinary customer experience, and your business will do better than if you have great coaching and a shitty customer experience, which is what a lot of businesses have, right? So it's such a powerful concept. And that's not for me to discourage you from being excellent in coaching, right? I'm pushing you to be the best that you can be in coaching, the best that you can be in customer experience. And in the culture, if you're a coach that's a solopreneur, you're working out of another gym, you're in a space where you're solo, but you want to build your own gym and have a team. Look, let me give you the shortest example of what culture is to me if you're solo. Culture is your character, right? It's the culture of you is your character and how you do things every day, and people see that, right? If you turned off the audio of all the things that you say, the culture of you would shine by like everything that you do. Meaning you come early to a session so that you're prepped and ready for that session, whether it's a group session or a private session. A client, even if it's not your gym, right, sees you picking stuff up off the floor because there's some papers on the floor, some garbage, and you put it away because you respect the gym and you care for the gym. Weights are all over the place, like you go and put that back in place and you clean it up, right? That speaks volumes. And if you do it consistently, because remember, character is not something you do here and there. Character is what you do all the time. Those are your values. So just remember, like if you're like, well, I'm not, working for myself, yet, man, let me tell you, like you're always working essentially for yourself to be a representation and build a reputation through your character, right? So this is very, very important because it shines through in other clients. And I can tell you this right now, like the way that I became extremely busy / packed with a waiting list in bigger box gyms was that I was operating different than what most people were. And I was doing the little things, and people would say it, and clients would come tell that to me. And a lot of times I would get other people's clients that wanted to work with me. Now, again, I wouldn't solicit or anything else. They would just, when they wouldn't get results or they feel a certain type of way training with another coach, they go like, hey, look, I've been watching you, the way that you do things, like how thoroughly you warm people up. And I see that you give them plans and feedback. And one of the clients said that you send emails every week, to all your clients and educate them and, entertain with certain things. And I've noticed that you have, you're tracking progress all the time and so on and so forth, right? Hey, I'd love to get a session in with you. Like this, true story, both when I was at LA Fitness and when I was at Vision Quest, I just did things very differently and people saw that. And again, it had nothing to do with paid marketing or any of that. Like I didn't know a lot of that stuff back then. It was just the coaching, the customer experience, and the culture. Like that was it. So that's the foundation. And I promise you this, like I still know people in this industry that don't do a great job with social media, don't have an email list, and don't do a lot of blogging and content creation. And, and I tell them like, hey, it's your duty to do that, not only to like share it and impact more people that you want to do, but it's going to give you more predictable business to be able to grow it. But my point is they're still successful in the sense that they do well. They always have clients. They've had clients for really long periods of time, right? We're talking about 10 years, 15 years, right? Some 20 plus years. And because they did those three things exceptionally well, right? So that pocket, and like I said, we'll revisit that and do a masterclass on those 3 C's. But today I want to focus more on the side of, how to generate business. So again, I'm assuming that first part is locked in, all right? And this masterclass is more about the second part, which is generating new leads, right? Creating authority, creating positioning, right? Becoming the expert in your local area or even online, and generating, I would say, not only like eyeballs, okay? Because this is really, really important to understand, right? Attention and eyeballs, right? So if we look at how do people like find us and reach out to us and reach out to like that are ready to commit, meaning to do something, do our 30-day results in advance program, which is our trial, or if you're doing, 4 intro sessions or a trial week or whatever it is that front end offer is for you, right? Like, how do we do that? Well, number one, imagine a pyramid, right? And there's obviously 3 points to this pyramid. And at the beginning, there is awareness, so a curiosity, right? So we want to get curiosity and attention. And if this is, social media like Facebook or Instagram, right? You're going to create something that's going to gain that attention and curiosity. So, an example here would be, I want to give you guys tactical examples or real examples. An example would be if I say my 6 favorite mobility drills and stretches or exercises to get out of nagging low back pain, right? And I've had low back pain, throughout my life, had some very, very serious injury and whatnot. So I do these posts quite a bit. But who's gonna be like who's gonna click on that or see that? Well, somebody that has some nagging back issues, which is most Americans at one point in time, right? And they're gonna be like, let me check those out, right? And if they do them, because of course they've been struggling with it, maybe they're currently struggling with it, so they're gonna click on that. It's gonna create curiosity and attention, right? And then as I do a video of those 6 exercises, they do 1 or 2, maybe 3 exercises, they go like, wow, my back does feel better, 50, 60, 70% better. All right, well, I'm gonna follow this guy. So I just gave you an example of Instagram, for example, or Facebook, right? So they follow me. So that's that first point on that triangle, okay? Curiosity, attention. But from there, we're gonna go into nurture and engage, right? So we're building what I call like relational equity, but we're building this relationship. Now you follow me, right? Or you've signed up for my email list, you've subscribed to my podcast, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, follow me on TikTok, right? Subscribe on YouTube, okay? Do an RSS feed like on the blog, you wanna be notified on the blog. Whatever it may be, right? You now it's like you're in my ecosystem. Well, nurturing and engaging, we wanna do 3 things. We wanna educate, we want to entertain, and or inspire. Those are the 3 things that build value. Those are the 3 things that build a relationship. Okay. Now, ideally, it would be, a mix. It can be a mix. I think the best mix is, infotainment, right? Which is like information and entertainment. So education and entertainment at the same time, right? It can also be entertainment and inspiration, right? It can be a mix of these things. Okay. So again, what is this podcast? Well, hopefully I'm delivering a lot of value, right? And entertaining. Hopefully I'll entertain, Since it was a little bit late, but I got my caffeine stacked here. So it's going to kick in. Don't you worry. So once you build that, when you engage and nurture with people, the third step, that's where it's going to take them to is commitment. So that's when they join your program. And these are principles because whether you're doing online stuff or you want to sell an ebook, right? Commitment would be buying an ebook, or it'd be getting a call for you for your online coaching program, or for your online coaching group, or for your workshop, or for your event, or for whatever else it may be. If it's your gym, it would be for that initial assessment, or for intro sessions, or the 30-day results in advance program, or maybe you're running a 6-week transformation challenge, right? Or a nutrition seminar. Do you see, like, that's commitment, right? That's commitment. So you have to gain attention, get curiosity. From there, you want to nurture and engage through entertaining, educating, and inspiring. And then from there, you have to have an offer, right? And the offer, we'll talk about the offer a little bit later, because the offer has to be very compelling, meaning it has to be, as Dan Kennedy would say, it has to be an irresistible offer, or what some marketers would also say, like Alex Hormozi, which is like that you'd be stupid not to take that offer. Like, that's how good the offer has to be, right? And so what do we do through those things? You, again, like, that principle is how you get people into that your ecosystem, help them build that relationship. Because the other part of it is like just being yourself, right? Somebody else could be saying these exact same words. They'd be saying them differently. They wouldn't be me saying them. And again, like, your story, your tone, your cadence, just your personality, those are the things that people will gravitate to. Because I hear this a lot, right? Like, well, somebody else already shared these glute exercises. It's like, so what? Like, if this is what you do in real life and you're helping people with this stuff, like, teach it, right? And educate and entertain, and it's going to be different coming from you. I mean, I know I say certain things that other people in the industry say that, I mean, we really have, most people have, that are doing good work, have a lot of similar thoughts, right? Meaning they're teaching similar things, but somebody's going to resonate more with somebody else. So you got to be yourself. You got to put yourself out there. This is important. And the thing, whether that's face to face or it's online, like, I mean, you got to be the same person. Let's be real, right? If, again, like my friend Martin Rooney said, like, hey, like, if you're somebody online, you're different in real life, eventually they're gonna meet you, and then what? All right, you don't want there to be a disconnect between that. So, but let's look at first of all, going like talking about. I'm gonna make this one a short one because. The avatar whole thing, the whole thing, the avatar as far as like, who are you marketing to? And if you're newer, and I mean like newer, the first years in industry, this can be confusing. I know I was confused too. It's like, man, like, who's my niche market? This, that, the other. And the easiest way for me to explain this one's this. Who's the person, like, which client do you have? What client do you have that you love coaching them, right? Not only because of the goals that they want to achieve, but like who they are as a person, like, they're fun, they're engaging, it's kind of like one of those, like, I train them for free. That's a thought. But also, if I said, hey, which client would you want 100 more clients like them, like exactly like them? I guarantee you're going to come up with somebody, right? You're going to be like, oh man, that client, or maybe 2, right? You'll have 2 clients. Well, that's your avatar, period, right? Because legitimately ends up being like, hey, like, get 100 more clients like that, you will have a really successful business, right? Whether I think about 100 semi-privates, 100 one-on-ones, right? So that's the avatar. And then what you end up doing is finding out as much about them as possible. I mean, when they started training with you, what were they struggling with? These are questions you can ask after the fact, but like, it's best to find out as soon as possible, which is, what were they struggling with? Like, what was their life like before they met you or before they reached out to you? Okay, what were they skeptical about? That's a big one too. Like, before they joined, sometimes people like started thinking about it 6 months ago and they were about to do it and then they didn't because they were skeptical, and then this happened and that happened. Like, find all that out. And then, what problems did they once help solving, right? What was their pain? What was their struggle? Then what were their specific results? What did you help them achieve, right? From what did you help them achieve? Then you also go into like where, for instance, online, what do they read? Who do they follow? Which guru do they follow? For instance, what places do they go? If they got kids, they might be going to, maybe they go to Seahawks games or they go to Sounders because their kids play soccer. The more that you can find out about them and their life and everything, like, the better. Because you're always going to be, this is the easiest way to find an audience that I believe, right? It's right in front of you, which is you're going to always communicate with them. And my analogy is that, like, when you create content, so whether you're writing a blog, whether you're writing an email, whether you're creating social media posts, anything, you're always thinking about, like, if this is the camera, I'm talking to that person, right? I'm at a coffee shop, I'm their trusted advisor, and I'm communicating like I would be in a coffee shop with that person, with a friend, right? Being their trusted advisor. So I'm going to be myself. I'm not going to be like, and you guys should do an avatar, right? Like, because that's not, nobody's going to connect with that. So, ideally, like for instance, if you have a gym like I have, I could think on somebody, a person, maybe two on the side of like men, and then a couple of different women, right? So, or maybe, and then it might be like, okay, what about former athletes? Okay, men, women. My point being is, you don't have to have one, but I think that starting with a couple, or like I said, even just one, and then talking to that person, I think is incredibly important. Okay. From there, I know this is like early on, but I want to talk about your offer, right? Because I don't care what you're doing, meaning, are you online? Are you offline? This is, definitely I'm going to lean towards offline, and if you have a gym or you're coaching people in person, because one, it's what I do, and I want to give you an example of it, right? Like what we do, and some examples of the people that we coach in our business coaching at Yoga Warrior Gym. But you gotta have a great offer, okay? Because the offer is what attracts people in. Now, it doesn't mean you only have one offer, but there's like one main offer that you can promote day in and day out, right? That should be, again, so good that people be stupid not to take it. So for us, that's my 30-day results in advance program at Vigor Ground. And what we do, instead of calling it a trial, sounds a lot better to say 30-day results in advance, because it is. That's what it is. And it's an easy pitch, right? The pitch is, because people are like, oh, what is that? What's the program? I said, look, for over a decade now, we have been doing this. And because we're so confident, like we want you to experience our gym, the risk-free, right? No long-term commitment. And we want to coach you and get you results and have you feel part of the community and see how we do things. But again, you will get results, and then you'll make a decision on how you want to move forward. And if at any point in time you're like, this is not for me, I don't feel like I'm getting the service that was promised, I'm really not enjoying this, let us know. We'll give you every penny back. I'll Venmo you the money. No questions asked, no paperwork to be filled out. Maybe the only question I'll ask you is like, how can we be better? That's it, right? So we're taking all the risk away. And what they're getting, and this is a big part of the offer that's important, okay? Now I'm gonna give you some principle-based thinking first before I let you know like what we offer and what you can offer. Principle-based thinking first is, what things do your clients struggle with? And this is where you got to do a little bit of research and study and just think it through, even the people that you have right now. Like, would giving them a grocery shopping list help, right? Would that solve some of their problems? Okay, because you got to keep going back and going like, what is the problem? How can I solve that problem, right? Grocery shopping list. What about simple recipes, high protein recipes, 5 ingredient recipes, lower carb recipes, plant-based. If you have obviously clients at some points in time are going to be plant-based for sure, right? So recipe books that make simple meal plans. Okay. What about, 10-minute mobility routines, one for the shoulders, one for the knees, one for the hips, one for the low back, one for the neck, right? If they have aching and nagging pains. Okay, so you're writing this stuff down. Okay? What about, for instance, having 4 on-the-road workouts, right? Do your clients travel? So many of our clients travel and might have just a hotel room, but not a lot, maybe just body weight. What about having that already done? Because might that be an obstacle? So think about the obstacles and not the excuses, but the things that might be an obstacle for them that they say ahead of time. Well, what about when I'm on the road, right? What about when I grocery shopping? What about when solve the problem by creating a solution already. And I'll tell you how this all builds into an offer, okay? Because when you post the offer, right, your main offer, so for us, the 30-day results in advance program, okay, so what we offer, and I'll loop all this back in, right, I'll explain why I said that ahead of time, okay, was because, yes, we're going to give them 4 semi-private personal training sessions with a coach, customized program, right? We're going to figure out a point A, right? Point A on a GPS, which is where they are right now. How is their food? Where is their weight and strength levels and all these different things, how they move, and find out what they struggle with, what was successful, what's their life like, how much sleep they get. Just GPS. You are here. Like, we understand that. Like, you are here, right? Where do you want to go? Point B, right? This is where I want to go. And in those 30 days, we're already going to help them get there 30 days of the way. And we're going to make a customized program specifically for them. They're going to get 4 semi-private sessions. They're going to get unlimited access to our team training. So, and we let them know, hey, that's like 22 different sessions per week, right? That are metabolic resistance training. They're more conditioning based. They improve fitness. They're fun. They're challenging. They're put together smart. They're safe, right? We use the word safe a lot because people want to be safe. They don't want to get injured. Okay, and they get access to that. They get up to 12 small group personal training sessions where we focus on strength and performance, but we adapt it to them. So we'll never try to, and this is the thing we say a lot, we don't fit the exercise to you. We don't fit you to the exercise, we fit the exercise to you, right? So again, making sure that the value is there, the benefits are there. From there, you're gonna get nutritional coaching and accountability. So that coach that's gonna program for you is gonna check in with you every week. They're gonna give you what the best steps for you to not overwhelm you so that you can be successful with your nutrition. And when you get the results, you keep the results. Okay, we're also going to give you a 30-minute injury and performance assessment with high-def physical therapy. That's in-house PT. What they're going to do is check out, like, to make sure that you're safe. If there's certain drills that you got to do to make sure it prevents any type of injuries. So we're just like, it's a tune-up, it's a check-in to make sure that, like, just like a car, it's like, hey, we're checking all the little things to make sure nothing's going to break. And that in of itself is $199 value. That's legitimately what they charge, right? So again, we're stacking all that, right? And most people don't even do that. They don't even list those things and how those things, right? So you got a feature, but they don't list how that's going to benefit them. But then all the things I mentioned before, hey, you're going to get a grocery shopping list so you don't ever have to think about what to buy. You're going to buy the right foods that fit your goals, but they're also that you like. We're going to give you recipes, quick ones that you can create in 5 minutes, delicious smoothies, delicious bowls, right? Things that are affordable. Matter of fact, to a degree, we'll show you how you're going to spend less money than you've been spending by eating healthier, eating tastier, being able to eat at home. Well, I know sometimes you may not be able to eat at home, so we got a guide how to eat out at restaurants, right? And we'll give you ideas of which restaurants and which food chains have better options and outline those for you, right? Because that could be an obstacle. Well, I can't make food at home. No problem. Just so happens that we created a guide for you, okay? Again, you have all those solved out. We also have mini workouts that you can do to feel better, mobility drills, and it's all have a video connected to it. So you can just watch the video, do it at home, right? You go on the road, like calorie burning workouts that are fun. You'll be sweating and smiling. Like, you'll never have to know what to do, right? Accountability and support every step of the way, right? We're gonna have a coach that's making sure that, like, you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing, but also, and getting you back on track compassionately, and not yelling at you and beating you up like a certain boot camps and whatnot. Again, imagine, so you continue to stack everything that they get in this offer and you make it risk-free. Now, you've heard a lot of different ones. There's, people that have done 6-week challenges or programs, or people that will do, 14 days of VIP training or 4 intro sessions. Our gym in Slovenia, our Vigor Ground facility in Slovenia, we do 4 intro sessions at they're super valuable and for much less than what the 4 sessions would usually be. And again, like, taking the risk away, right? Like, if you didn't love it, listen, we'll give you your money back. And a lot of times people are afraid to do that because it's like, oh man, what if people ask for money back? Well, first of all, you're gonna get way more people to take you up on an offer when you have an excellent offer and when you do a money back guarantee. So that even if, and I promise you, it very rarely happens, but even if somebody asks back for money, you'll get so many more people to ask you for the offer because of the way that you made a money back guarantee that it won't matter. But most of the time, they won't ask. Now, if you did have an issue, I'm gonna keep it real with you, right? Like, if a lot of people are asking you back for money, you either overpromised and underdelivered, or it wasn't that great and you gotta make it better. You gotta go back to those 3 C's: the coaching, right? The culture, and the customer experience, period, right? But that's how you gotta make the offer. And then you can think about the offer for online as well, right? Again, like, even how you build an email list. I know we're gonna get to this later, but imagine you give something exceptionally valuable in an email list that's very easily consumable and it's free, but it should be excellent, right? Because somebody giving you their email, well, guess what? That's That's not free, right? Even though it's like, oh, well, it's free, yeah, but it's not, right? When people give you the information, or just like if somebody comes to your free workshop or webinar, they're giving you their time, right? They're giving you their time, or they're giving you their trust. And that means a lot, and you have to honor and respect that, okay? So we touched on the offer, right? So again, if you make this excellent offer, and here's a little trick. So let's say right now you revamp your offer. You're listening to this and you go like, shit, my offer is not that great. I can make my offer way better. And here's the deal. It can be better, right? We've revamped our offer, and we're going to revamp it again. And the more that I can put into that offer to make it so insane, again, I want people to feel dumb not to take us up on it. And we're going to raise our offer is $197, right? It's a real like $700 value. Right now, we charge $197 for that 30-day results in advance with a money-back guarantee, and we're going to bump it up to $247, right? And the other part of it too is, like doing high-ticket offers. As right now, there's another. I was going to sip on this, but I got to finish this thought. Is we're going to do a high-ticket offer that's going to be a 12-week program, very, very results-based, where you're getting 3 to 4 semi-private training sessions a week. Unlimited access to everything. In-body weigh-ins, by the way, I forgot, we do the in-body measurement at the beginning and at the end of our 30 days. But in this program, every 2 weeks we're doing an in-body, and there'll just be more support where they're also getting an assisted stretching every month, or they can bump up to every 2 weeks, which one of our coaches does. They're getting smoothies every week, right? So we're just creating as much of this kind of not done for you, but done with you. And that's going to be a $2,500 program, right? So it's a 12-week, $2,500 program, but it's like very, very, meaning that you're selling the vacation and not the flight. A lot of people sell the flight. You're going to get XYZ sessions, and you're going to get this, and you're going to get this. Sell them what's the result that they want to get? That's what you want to sell them, the vacation. So this specific front-end offer that I'm now talking about, that's going to be $2,500, is going to be the Accelerated Results program, right? The 12-week Accelerated Results program. And we're selling a vacation, like the goal that you want to achieve. And there's even a pullback, like, hey, listen, this is for folks that like really, like they want to get the best results and accelerate them in the next 12 weeks, right? Is that something that you'd be interested in more? Yeah, absolutely. Tell me more about it. Okay, great, right? So the thing is that if you have a high ticket offer like that, the other part of it is that you can spend more money, right? You can not only just spend more money on the marketing, but you can put more into the experience of the client. You know what I mean? Like when somebody becomes a member for us, we give them a gift box, and it's like a Vigor Ground t-shirt, there's an Atomic Habits book, there's a Vigor Ground journal, Vigor Ground stickers, supplements, pen, right? So again, like a gift card from FitBar, appreciation card. Now that package costs a bunch of money, right? But if you have if you have a free front end offer, and I'm not saying that there's no place in the world for it, because that's not true. But the thing is, the more that you are able to charge, the more you can give back in the experience of the client. So on a $2,500 front end offer, we can now include things like assisted stretching and pay that coach to do that and buy them smoothies every week and put that money into that. And what's so cool about it, that after the 12 weeks, right? So think about if you pay about $835 per month, that's $2,500, right? In 3 months. Well, then we can get them on a 2 times a week semi with everything else included for $500. You're actually downselling them afterwards, right? So that's where that makes a lot of sense. And here's the other, like this is a little, it's not a trick. None of this is a trick. When I say trick, I just mean like a great way for you to do something that you may not be doing right now and increase the revenue in your business. But if you were to sell that high ticket package and they, for instance, didn't go for it, be like, all right, great. Well, let's get you, if that's not going to work out, you can downsell them in different ways than that, but you can also at the end just go, it sounds like the best fit for you right now would be the 30-day results in advance program, right? Which is $197, and you tell them everything that they get. That's the easiest sell in the world. But by the way, that results in advance program for us has been, killing it for a long time, like legitimately 10 years we've had. But we charged way less for it before, and we kept bumping it up, and we never get less sales because of it. And that should tell you that it's smart, like bump your rates up and then give people back more, right? It's not like, remember on the front end, you're not really working to make the money on the front end. What you're working on the front end is to create the best experience and then to get them to convert to be a member so that you can continue to get them these results, right? So that's really important. So that's the offer. And again, if you could do, think about how you can do this with an online offer, okay? Because it doesn't matter. Just think about the offer, right? Think about spicing the offer up. I gave you guys some examples here and exactly what we do at Vigor. And the deal too is, although, we'll touch on advertising as well, but one of the mistakes that I see, when it does come to advertising, whether it's organic and non-paid or paid, is that people will, for instance, like put pictures up or, of some ripped dude, like 23-year-old Jack, whatever it may be, shredded to pieces and advertise their program, but that's not their market, right? So what you should be using is pictures, testimonials, video of clients that you train, people just like them, right? And if you do success stories, which you should, I feel like you should be collecting success stories every week, whether that's a before and after, a written testimonial, ideally videos, success story videos. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But you want to basically promote something like that where people see people just like them, right? And that's what you're marketing. And I mean, I even have an example here where it's just like, hey, right now we're looking for 12 local men who want to jumpstart their health and fitness. If that's you, you'll get a completely customized program, 30 days of VIP training, I think around fitness performance, and completely risk-free, right? Spots are limited, apply below, and then you have a video of, again, it could be a picture of somebody just like them that's training for, if it was a guy, because I said for men, this was an ad for men, and it could also be a video, a success story of a person from your gym, and it says, huge opportunity for Renton area men, right? And it's like apply now. That would be the ad. I'm giving you guys pretty much almost an ad that we would run. But this is what's really important, right? Like we talked about avatar. We'll market to people just like them. So this is really important because that's the mistake that people make. And the thing about that is that, like, when it comes to an offer, I'm gonna go to Dan Kennedy's 6 principles here, right? So it's from it's a book that's been around for a while. It's called Magnetic Marketing. Still worthwhile read. Excellent marketing book. Like Dan Kennedy, one of the OGs of direct response marketing. Honestly, like he created a lot of this stuff. But number one, there will always be an offer. This is a mistake for a lot of coaches. One, they don't have an excellent offer. Two, they don't put, when I say push the offers, they don't make the offer. Okay, they don't make the offer. Now, what we're going to touch on in a bit is that for every time that you make an offer, there should be about a minimum of 5, but I'm more like a 10-to-1, 10 pieces of valuable content, right, to every one offer that you make. So I'm going to give an example of Instagram, right? Should be 10 posts where it's like fire content that solves a problem for the person reading it, watching it, whatever it may be, to every offer that you make. Right? Because a lot of folks, they kind of go like, oh shit, I should be making more offers. But then they don't really serve the marketplace with value. And then they make a lot of offers. And it's like you're taking out of the relational equity bucket and you don't have anything in there. Right? So it's the same thing as like, I barely met you. Right? I haven't really delivered a lot of value in your life. And then I'm like, hey, listen, would you come to my house and like help me move and do this and do all that? You'd be like, that's weird. Right? You haven't built the value. Now, if you go to a friend that you've built that relationship and you go like, hey, would love if you help me move. Absolutely, no problem, right? Think of it that same way, right? You gotta earn making the offer, okay? Which you do by delivering value to the marketplace through things like, think about every single way, from email marketing to content on every, I would say, channel. And even, here's the thing, you can even make your advertising valuable. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm saying a lot we're going to talk about later, but I told you guys this is a masterclass, right? And so you can do it through podcasting, through face-to-face, doing in-person seminars and workshops, which I think are phenomenal and people drop the ball on, right? That's the offline marketing part. But either way, when you continue to do that, you earn to be able to ask for the offer. But number one, there will always be an offer, right? Give them a reason to take action now. So things like scarcity and deadlines, right? Hey, we're running this until this day or until this many spots open up. Otherwise, sure, there's going to be, remember, like I said this before, there's 3% of people that want the thing now, okay? But then the rest, the other 97 are in different brackets, right? Some people are looking for who's the right person. That's like 17%. Then there's another 34% that know that they have a problem, but they're not even looking yet, right? So you got to give the scarcity and the deadline so that people take action, right? So you got to give them, or a bonus, right? A bonus that's very valuable. Clear instructions on what you want them to do. You'd be surprised at how many marketing pieces or websites or anything I see where I don't know what I should do next, right? Donald Miller talks about this. I teach this about when somebody looks at your IG profile, at your website, at your Facebook, they should know, three things, okay? What do you do? Meaning, in this case, like, what do we do at Vigor? How can we help you, right? And what you should do next, right? So how should you sign up? So that's one of them, clear instructions of what you want them to do. There's got to be tracking and measuring, KPIs, meaning like when you put this offer out, how many people reached out to you, okay? When you send out an email, how many people responded to you? If you're running ads and spending money, well, then you definitely got to know how is it doing? How many clicks do you have? How many opt-ins do you have? How many people got on a call, right? KPIs. Well, we're gonna like dig into KPIs specifically, but I'm saying like this is the rule of magnetic marketing. There's gonna be follow-up. Like I said, if you are like, I'm telling you right now, winners follow up, okay? Winners follow up like better than people that don't grow their business. So follow-up is like a super skill, right? If you have follow-up capabilities and you practice that, and also systems and CRMs and things of that nature, right? Like you're gonna do so much better, and it's really important. And then results rule. What I mean by results rule is this. A lot of folks will be like, man, but I'm doing X, Y, Z, and I'm doing X, Y. I said, what are the results like? Well, they suck. Okay, well then we gotta change something, right? Maybe you're not tracking, maybe you're not making enough offers. Like this is how I assess businesses, right? Like I'm looking at what they're doing, and then I wanna dig deeper and see what's going on. So sometimes I'm like, wow, like you're not putting out any valuable content. Or if they are, like when's the last time you asked, right? Like when's the last time you made an offer? Okay, what is your offer? All right, what's your tracking like? Let's look at that. Let's look at your sales system, right? Like we got to find those bottlenecks and eliminate them and improve them, and then things start moving and growing, right? Let me take a sip. Okay. Digging into my notes. So let's talk about like this is, before we go into even modalities, I want to talk about the execution plan, or just like, we put it this way, every Sunday, I think that every Sunday, like in Yo Grow Your Gym, we have something called game film, okay? Game film is where, just like when I play basketball, after games, we'd have game film, and you'd assess the game. What went well, what didn't go well, where did we fuck up, right? And then it's like, what corrections are we going to make? And when we prepare for the next team. But here, what you're going to do is you're going to look at the previous week, and you're going to see like, what did you do well? What went well, right? And make a note of it, because that's an insight. What went well, you want to do more of, okay? What didn't go well? How am I going to make it better, okay? And then I'm going to plan for the next week. Now, we do something called Key 4, right? Key 4 is the 4 big things that, like, if you do that next week in your business, it's going to be a successful week. The 4 big actionable steps, right, is the Key 4. Because I think, like, as business owners, as coaches, you can have a lot of things that you have to do. But what are the 4 that if you do those, man, it's going to be a damn good week, right? And not only do you say that you're going to do those 4, you put the days you're going to do them. You block out the time that you're going to do them, right? You don't just go like, well, I'll do them when I can. No, like you're like, this one thing is really important. I'm going to do it on Monday. Right? On Monday, I'm going to send out an email, and that email is going to have a PS and it's going to have offer in it. Okay, on the Wednesday, I'm going to do follow-up and do a reactivation campaign. I'm going to block out an hour to do a reactivation campaign and make an irresistible offer for all the people, the past clients and past leads that in the last 18 months, right? On Thursday, I'm going to put it this way, do all the content for the whole week, for the next week, right? So I'm going to bundle it together. I'm going to shoot 15 real videos and 2 vlogs and blah, blah, whatever it may be, right? And then I'm just making up, I'm making things up, but giving you actual real examples of what Key 4 may look like, right? I'm going to have a team and staff because we have to improve a way that we're doing onboarding. So I'm going to educate the team, and we're going to like dive in on that so that we can improve it. That would be an example. But I wanted to say that like you want to have execution stuff. And even when it comes to marketing, like you want to be able to, I would say, have at least the next month out. Like, I'd say a quarter is great, is even better, obviously, but like right now, like just make sure you have at least the next 30 days of marketing planned. And I got this, at least these brackets, right? These brackets, I think I got from Vince Gabriel, but there was, they're broken down like this, and this is how you should look at your marketing. One is the evergreen strategy, which is just things that you offer all the time. So imagine that, like for us, that's the 30-day results in advance program. Like we're offering that all the time, right? It's not seasonal, this, that, the other, right? So it's the evergreen strategy, stuff you're gonna do all the time. And there might be more things, right? We're like for instance, with FitBar having an upsell where somebody, as soon as they're a return customer, the person at FitBar goes like, hey, by the way, as a return customer, did you know that you get 3 VIP workouts with at Vigor Ground Fitness and Performance? And if they go like, no, I didn't know that, would you like to take advantage of that? Yes, I would. Okay, great. Can we get your number and a coach will call you and set up those 3 VIP sessions with you? Right? That would be an evergreen strategy. Okay, but either way, outline the things that you'll be promoting all the time. Number 2 would be contests and challenges. Those are short-term programs. For instance, October 4th, we're doing an internal challenge for 6 weeks. It's for the members, but those members can then bring friends and family for only $197 for the 6 weeks, right? For our members, it's only a $50 buy-in, and that's going to go towards cash prizes and whatnot. But I'm giving you an example. That's a contest and challenges. Okay, in this next month, this is what we're going to be doing. Then there's core events. So that's events that you host and run. So that might be a thing. Charity events, right? And like for us, we still kind of do, but remember every Saturday we had a charity at 9 a.m., right? So that might be core events. Joint ventures, partner with other local businesses and programs. We actually have an ongoing thing now with High Def Physical Therapy because they're in-house. But that's a JV. Another, like I said, we're trying to get a small business fitness transformation challenge going, which we're collaborating with the Chamber of Commerce, okay? And they would be emailing out to 900 of their businesses. We kind of did it first email to see interest. Interest was very high. Now we're trying to, I would say, determine when we're going to launch this small business transformation challenge. Then it's community events. What are you going to do in a community? This might be like Renton River Days or doing stuff with, like, for instance, local hoops. Or we have, this is a little bit ahead of time, but we're going to launch our new boxing program, Tony Jeffries Connect. And we want to do a massive charity event and bring the news in and everything else, right? And that would be a community event because we'd be raising money for the community. And then holiday promos. November is coming up pretty soon. In November, we do a big Black Friday special, okay? So you would outline all of these, and maybe there's none in that month, right? But for example, you got an evergreen strategy, you'd outline that for the month. Contest challenges, core events, joint ventures, community events, holiday promotions. Right? And the reality is like I've always talked about, as far as like when it comes to marketing, it's like having poles in the water, right? You don't have all your eggs in one basket. This is the mistake I see a lot of people making now. They're just online, typing away. Like, man, I'm not getting that many leads from online. I was just on a business coaching call with somebody this past week that said, man, like we're creating content and we're just not getting any pull. Like all our people, or a lot of our people, are coming because they find us on Google. And so I dove in like, Google how? Well, one, it's SEO, and then second, the Google business profile. So, we started talking about, number one, redoing their offer, but also like putting more effort into the thing that's already working, which is Google, and then going like, hey, make more offers on your social media. So when's the last time you made an offer? Didn't make an offer, as long as they can remember. So again, like you analyze this, you have multiple buckets, because that joint venture partnership might, chiropractor might refer 2 people per month, or maybe just 1. But then the charity event that you do every month might bring in 5 new leads, okay? Then you got your core trial offer, and you get like a couple of leads per week through your website, okay? Then you improve your Google business profile, and you get a message a week there. You see what I'm saying? It trickles, and you have an ongoing amount of people that are constantly reaching out to you. And what's cool about it is that like certain things you can put into place and they work for you 24/7, right? Things like a website, things like your Google business profile, okay? So again, things like also like advertising. But so you would break that down. So if it's, right now it's the end of September's coming, you would map out October, right? And on the calendar in October, you would put, one of the things that you would put is going like, what day are you gonna, like if you send out an email, what day are you gonna send out the email? And that day, hey, when you get up on a Monday, like blocked out time to send out that email. A lot of people want to have, I would say, this really effective business. And, they will tell their clients like, hey, client, you go where your focus goes. So if you're not focusing on your sleep and your nutrition, then, it's not growing. But then are you focusing on your marketing and your sales? You want to grow your business, and every day when you look at your calendar and you look at your schedule, is there blocked out time for you to market? Is there a blocked out time for you to follow up? Is there a blocked time for you to sell? Right? If that's not the case, your business is not going to grow the way that you want it to. Because unfortunately or unfortunately, right, marketing and sales are still like the kind of like the jet engines of the plane. Okay, meaning they still kind of like fly the plane. Like you got to be able to sell to be able to grow your business. And sometimes for fit pros, it's a difficult thing to like, are you saying that if I'm not amazing at coaching and training and stuff that, yeah, like you'll have some success, but to really like have the biggest success possible, like you have to get good at marketing and sales. Like, I hate to break it to you, but remember there's coaching and then there's the business of coaching, right? And so those are two different things. So you might be great at the coaching side, but the business of coaching, you suck and you got to get better at it, period. Okay. Now that we got that out the way. Okay, so the thing is that you got to, essentially when you look at like a scoreboard, right? Like when you look at a basketball, I do a lot of basketball analogies, but your marketing scoreboard, you got to have it. Some people call it KPIs, key performance indicators. And, just some of them is like, number one is you got to look at the amount of leads that you're getting, but not just the amount of leads, right? Like you got to track your leads, but where are they coming from? It's a really big mistake that you don't track where people are coming from. So as soon as somebody reaches out to you, hey, I'm just curious, how did you find out about us, right? What made you reach out to us today? Okay, so they start giving you reasons like, I'd love to hear where you've heard about us first, and then kind of dig. Because when you do that, it'll give you so much insight, like, holy shit, I call it the 80-20 rule. A lot of times, 80% of your business is coming from 20% of your basically strategies, right? And you want to look at what that is because whatever is working, you want to enhance the shit out of that, right? So maybe you're getting a lot of referrals, which you should, right? It's a core thing. But if you are, and you're like, wow, I'm getting referrals, but I don't even have a referral strategy, right? And I'll give you guys some referral strategies, right? But it's like, guess what's going to happen once you plug in a referral strategy, right? In a system, well, referral is going to grow even more. So things like that are important. So you got to find out, your leads and then where they're coming from, and what they came in for, the specific product, like meaning that's why did you reach out to us, right? Was it a trial? Was it a paid in full offer? Was it Valentine's Day 2-for-1, whatever it was. From there, you want to know how many people, like how many leads did you get? And then how many people actually came in and sat down with you, right? From there, you want to look at like how many people went into a trial. So for me, the front end offer, right? So we'd go, how many leads? How many of those leads actually like showed up on a call in front of us face to face? Like I said, if it's online, it's on a call. How many took us up on an offer or a membership? So if they did the trial, we tracked them, they did the trial. And then how many converted from the trial to the ongoing membership? The reality is that what that's going to do is it's going to give you insight, right? The insight is going to be that if you're generating, first of all, if you're not generating a lot of leads, well, you know what the problem is, right? You got to generate more leads, right? And that could be traffic or it could be an offer. So remember, we talked about the offer. Make an excellent offer, mind-boggling, irresistible offer. And then if you're still not getting a good amount of leads, then means you got to send more traffic to that offer. So meaning more social media, whether it's Google improving their SEO, more emails going out with a PS. We'll talk about that, right? You got to get more traffic to that offer so that people will generate the leads. From there is like, if you're not getting them in on a call or in front of you on a strategy session, then you got a problem there. That means that the follow-up may not be great, okay? Which is usually the problem, right? You got to follow up better. You got, whether that's a CRM system, you could be as basic as Excel, still works, and making sure you consistently follow up with them. Remember, they reached out, they raised their hand, don't stop. In fitness, the tendency is usually to follow up once, twice, 3 times, maybe for a week, at most 2 weeks, boom, and then it's over. You got to follow up on and on and on and on. I got a crazy story. I'm going to throw it in here. Okay, one of our mastermind members at the Yo Grow Your Gym. So he went through which is another lead gen strategy. I don't think it's the greatest ever, but like, listen, it's called Bark, where it's like you pay some money credits, and then they send you leads. And he got 20 leads, and they were basically all a bust except for one. But that person he followed up for 3 to 4 months, okay? 3 to 4 months of follow-up consistently. And the guy hired him. The guy ends up being a billionaire. Let's just say it's a lot of business for our client, like a massive amount of business for our client. All because he kept following up, okay? Because he kept following up, and through this, I would say, lead gen strategy that's not usually highest up on the list, he got a billionaire client. The follow-up was it, okay? So, but from there, if you do sign people up for a trial, right, and the trials are not converting, that means you got to improve your experience, right? You got to improve your experience and or sales. Okay, and then people become members, and then you obviously track how long they're members, because if they become a member but they've only trained with you for 3 months, that's not really good retention, right? Now, if people stay for, like, our average is, a year plus, then you know, like, hey, listen, I can spend quite a bit of money because, like, people are going to stay for a year. But the KPIs, so the scoreboard, the key performance indicators, what they tell you, right, is, and I gave you some basic ones, going deeper too, is when people cancel. Why did they cancel? Like, I think that's very important too, finding that out. But the point is that, like, when you have that in front of you and track that, and you track it meticulously, it gives you an insight on your business. And sometimes it's a painful insight, but now you can actually do something about it. You can change it. Most people are just going through the wind, and it's just like, hey, I'm getting leads, I'm not getting leads. Like, oh, I'm stressed out, I need more leads. But they're not doing a good job on tracking this. And they're not doing a good job of following up and just knowing, where they got to work on, So, because from there, the thing is, if you track those things, it's a lot easier to also, do the paid marketing, which is like cost per lead, right? Because if I know my cost per lead through a marketing channel, I could be marketing through Google Ads, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I could be, doing paid promotions through email lists, meaning like where I'm going to sponsor like an organization. Like, for instance, a lot of times teams will say, like, hey, do you want to put something, spend some money with us, and we'll put your logo on a t-shirt. Like, I don't ever do that again. But what I will do is go like, hey, well, I'll sponsor you, and I'll give you guys $1,000 if you can send out 3 emails to your list of parents for youth training, and we have a program that we want to promote, and would you promote that for us? I'll write the emails, and you can send them out to your list, and I'll give you $1,000 for that. You'd be surprised at how many people be like, hell yeah, we can do that. Boom. See, now I can track it. I spent $1,000. Hey, we got 11 kids into this program that costs $300. I spent $1,000. I gained back $3,300. And after the program, we signed another, 6 of those kids up for ongoing training, right? So I can know whatever media channel I go through and spend money. I know cost per lead, cost per acquisition. So cost per acquisition just means, the amount of money I had to spend for that person to actually start training with us. And what that gives us is, like, now you can go like, well, hell, like, I can, I can definitely, I would say, spend money to generate clients. Now, a lot of today's masterclass is not going to be about, I would say, paid traffic, although, paid marketing, because traffic is easy. You just buy it. But then if you don't have great, I would say, if you don't have good positioning, and if you don't have a good, landing page, and you're not great at sales, then you'll be blowing that money. And this is where the people make a mistake. Like, they start spending money, but they don't have all their ducks in a row. And then they go like, oh, paid marketing doesn't work. It works. Absolutely works. You just got to make sure all the things are in place so that it does work. Okay. But let's go into some tactical stuff. So let's go into the engine that drives, marketing and lead generation. And we'll start with the referral engine, because I always told people, like, look, if you don't get 7 to 8 leads per month, through referrals, you got to figure something out. You either got to do a better job with coaching, culture, customer experience, or you have to have a better referral system. Now, if you're just getting started and you got like 5 clients, then don't take that into account. But if you got like a gym with 50 to 100 clients, and you're not getting 6, 7, 8 referrals per month, man, that's a problem. Like, you got to fix that before you start putting any money into marketing. But I'm going to just give you guys, like, look, I did actually a masterclass on referral, on being a referral master, and it's on the Yo Fitness and Business podcast, right, which is the podcast that me and Steve Krebs have, and I'll put it in the show notes, right? But I'm going to give you like I'm going to give you 4 referral strategies that you can make a system out of, okay? Meaning system, you do it every time. Like there's something that triggers it. The first referral strategy is the point of sale system, meaning that as soon as somebody does a sale, so an example here would be like somebody joins us for a trial, right? Our 30-day results in advance program. The moment that they, pay us, they sign a paperwork, we say, hey, congratulations, I'm so excited to help you in the next 30 days get results in advance, and then beyond that. By the way, we do allow you to bring a friend or family member to your first training session. Who would you like to bring? Right? And a lot of folks will be like, oh, well, I'll bring my sister or whatever, right? Some people go like, oh, I don't understand what you mean. And we say, hey, look, we found that people that get the best results don't only have support from the coaches in the community, but also bring somebody that is, trying to achieve goals like them and have support from them, from friends and family. Is there somebody you have in mind in your friends and family that could benefit from, dropping body, whatever their goal was, right? Like feeling better, getting more energy, feeling more confident, dropping body fat. And it'll be like, oh, like a lot of times they'll be like, yeah, I do actually. And it's like, oh, who would that be, right? So we want to get that name. And if now we're like, hey, is it okay if I follow up with you about this? Who you'd like to bring? Yes. And then you got to follow up. So you got to make sure you follow up. Again, this is going to be a recurring theme of following up. So that's the point of sale. What's so dope is that like if this person brings somebody, they come into a class, they come to the semi-private session, you adjust, you give them an awesome session, you make them feel amazing, right? You coach your ass off, and then you get them signed up into that same program, the trial, the challenge, whatever that it is, right? Guess what you do with them? As soon as they sign up, congratulations, can't wait to help you and help you get results. By the way, we do allow you to bring a friend or family member to your first session, right? So it's an ongoing thing. And your mind would be blown, okay, by how much your business can grow by just doing that and having everybody on your team do that. It's insane. I won't even, listen, report to me in 45 days as you do that with every person that signs up. I won't take any commission. Just let me know how I did, okay? So that's the first strategy. Number 2 is these VIP fitness gift cards. My friend, who I think sold a company, Curtis Mock, ran a company it's literally called fitnessgiftcards.com. And we would get the black, you can do whatever you want, but they're nice, they're plastic like credit cards, and you can actually do elevated numbers so they look like a credit card. So the feel is valuable, so when a person gets it, it's not like a paper or cardboard where they're like, this isn't worth shit. They're actually damn, this is worth something. We've had I would say gyms that would put a monetary amount on there, like 200 and stuff like that. We just started putting VIP. So it'd be a black card, gold, it would look basically like a black American Express card with gold numbers elevated, a gold VIP in the top, and our logo, right? Small and clean. It just looked prestige. On the back, it had a swipe, it looks like a credit card. They make it look like a credit card. Now, the way that you use this, the mistake that people do with these cards is that they just start handing them out to people, right? Never do that, okay? The way that you do it is that a new person, remember, people are the most motivated to refer in their first 30 to 45 days, right? Because they're starting a new journey, they're excited, they want to share all that with people. And not to say that your members don't love you, but after a while, it becomes normal. Now, you'll have some superstar refer people that refer, and I'll let you know in a second what you should do with those folks. But the thing is that most people will refer and likely prefer to refer the most at the beginning, right? 30 to 45 days. So we have to put in systems that supercharge that. So when that person is, so let's say, Jenny's been working with me for, 11, 12 days, and she goes I'm like, hey, who's supporting you on this journey, right? And they're like, well, my husband, and, we cook together, but he loves running. He blew out his back, and, so now he can't run. He's actually very depressed and frustrated. And so I'd ask more questions, how did he do that? Well, he was, doing some sprints, and then after the sprints, he picked some garbage up off the floor, and, boom, it went. Oh, okay, cool. Next session, I see Jenny. I said, look, Jenny, I was thinking about this. So here's what I want to do, right? Your husband, I want to get him in for, first, an injury and performance assessment with high-def PT. It's $200, but I'll take care of it, right? Never say it's free. Always say I'll take care of it. And what I also want to do is I want to give you this VIP card, okay? And what this does is I'm taking care of it. I'm paying for 30 days of his training, okay? So he's going to train one time a week with semi-private. He's going to get the PT assessment. We're going to put him in a small group, and we're going to adjust everything to him. And we're getting his back feeling better and teaching some things on like what's going to improve his running and make his pain go away. So, I'm going to give you this and you got to let me know, and give me contact info, talk to him. Will you be able to talk to him? Yeah, for sure. Do you think it's something that you want to do? Like, most likely, yes, right? But the biggest thing is going to be to follow up again. Okay, great. I'm going to follow up and get a session scheduled with him, okay? So now the value's massive. I'm taking care of it, right? I'm paying for it. I'll usually say I'm taking care of it. I'm paying for it. I'll also pay for his injury and performance assessment as well. So now we get him through the door. We deliver a lot of value. We get him out of pain. We coach him. But again, like now that one client, right? First they bring a friend or family member in. Now, just because we listen, right? Remember, this is important. You got to take notes. You got to put it in your CRM. It's like, hey, their mom is struggling with weight loss, but she feels unsafe and this, that. Okay, great. We're gonna pay for 30 days of coaching with her mom, and also maybe it's gonna be less training and more nutrition coaching because she's afraid to do classes. Cool. We're gonna take care of it. Okay, so you got to be tuned in and listen, and make a specific offer for that person. Not like, hey, if you got any family or friends, just here's this card, right? So that's what's really important. Okay, so that's number 2 strategy. This is a system. Okay, this is a system. Number 3 is going to be Bring a Friend Day. Now, Bring a Friend Day is part of like, if you do one-on-one clients, if you have groups, if you have whatever you have, at least once a month, right? I would say not doing it more than once a month, except if I'll give you a strategy if you do. Now, so what you're gonna do with this is once a month, you're gonna go, hey, listen, we have a Bring a Friend Day on this day. RSVP, who would you like to bring? Not if you want to bring somebody. RSVP, who would you like to bring? And is it okay if I follow up with you? Yeah, absolutely, great. And then we say it to people, like in our groups, we're like, hey, look, it's Bring a Friend Day next week on Friday or Thursday or Saturday, whatever it may be, right? Now, if you have multiple programs like we have Stronger, we have Strength. So Stronger is all women's small group. Strength Camp is all men's small group. Team training is obviously, mixed. I have a small group that I'm running that's a mixed small group. But you could go once a month for Stronger, once a month for Strength Camp. So it's very individual to the type of person that goes to that group. So, if we got like 16, 17, 18 women in Stronger, now, like if we get like a third of them to bring somebody, that's 5 leads, right? In Strength Camp, we got about 15 guys in that small group. Okay, great. So they're going to bring somebody. And maybe it's only 3 to 4 people, but now we got 9 different leads that month, right? Team training. Do you see what I'm saying? System. Every month it happens. If you have multiple programs, do it once a month for each program, even more leads coming in. Okay, so those are basically 3. Then the 4th one is one that if at the beginning, so when somebody starts training and they tell you their goals, which is, notice a lot of things that I'm saying means you have to be attuned, you have to listen a lot, right? You have to actively listen, you have to take notes, you have to pay attention, you have to be curious. And then you're going to ask and say, at the beginning, say, hey, listen, our gym is basically pretty much mostly referral based on word of mouth, and our commitment is getting you the best results possible, getting you the best experience. And then, that we get referrals from people that have results. Can I get a commitment from you that when I help you achieve your goal of, fill in the blank, that you will refer your friends and family to us? Yes. Okay, great. Now, once they do that, for instance, let's say they hit their first chin-up. That was their goal. Drop 15 pounds, hit their first chin-up. When they do that, congratulate them. It's a milestone. Write them a card, like, I'm so proud of you. Put in a $30, $40, $50 gift card for Nike, right? Individual stuff. But then go to them and say, hey, listen, I helped you achieve your goal. Who would benefit from this type of training? Like, that's your friend that's also looking to make this change. Would you make an introduction to a couple of friends that would really benefit from this? Matter of fact, I got a text, and what we have is legitimately, we have a text that we'll go I'll make it easier for you. I wrote out the text. You just have to fill in the blanks and send that to them. Can I count on you on that for that? And the thing is, because at the beginning, you asked them if they would do that if you help them reach their goal, now they will do it for sure, okay? So that's the 4th way. There's more ways. There's charity bootcamp approaches. I have 9 different strategies. I cover them in the podcast. But this is your referral kind of machine that you can use, okay? Another one that is a card system is during the holidays, right? Again, look, I got so many notes here. It'll blow your mind. There's no way I can cover this in even one podcast. But it's a holiday referral card system. Because the holidays are coming up, this one's going to be really good for you, right? basically giving every member for the holidays, and you got to have a deadline, a timeline where people can do this, because this is when things slow down. So think about after Black Friday, because remember, we run a paid in full deal. After this, you give them this 30 days, or you can do, listen, you don't have to do 30 days. I'm talking about my business. You can do 14 days. You can do XYZ amount of sessions. You can do 10 classes. You do whatever you want from a thing. But this is specifically for family, for their family, right? It's designed to give that gift card / 30-day trial / whatever you're going to give them to a friend or family member. They have to use it up until a certain time, right? Before the end of the year, because that gets people in the door. But again, this is part of a system. And while, yes, it's during a holiday, guess what, right? You want to get people in at slower times in that will convert going into the new year. And again, make sure that you do follow up on this too. Because if they haven't gave it to somebody, I'm going to follow up with them. Hey, just checking in. Who did you give it to? Just so we know we're going to put them down and be ready for them, and so on and so forth. All right, this is one of the biggest mistakes. Is anything that I talk about here is going to be a thing that you have to follow up on. Because again, you give it to people forget, not because they don't want to refer or they don't want to give it out, or it's life happens, right? Life happens, and you have to make sure that you stay on top of it. The only time you stop is when they say can you please stop reaching out to me? Can you please stop checking in? And that very, very rarely happens, but only then when you do it. Okay, and let's dig into some of the stuff that I won't be able to listen. By the way, guys, if you go to yogrowyourgym.com/mastermind, you find out about our mastermind where we teach this and give all the example scripts, you name it, all this stuff. Okay, because I can't. First of all, I'm trying to give away as much possible value and content that you can use from this in this podcast. But I can't give it all the way just because of time. But there's scripts, there's all this stuff that you can't imagine, right? That how much there is. And the biggest thing is keeping you accountable and coaching you specifically in your business to grow your business, because people are in different places, right? So we coach some. Even I go in and consult some of the biggest gyms biggest names that you've heard of. But majority of the people that we coach are gym owners that are taking their gym and they want to scale it. So they want to make more money, make it bigger, but work less. Like our assistant coach, Pat Hennigan in Jacksonville, who went from working 60 hours a week to tripling his business and now working around 10, right? Imagine that. So he's working 6 times less and tripled, and his profits have gone up that much too, because a lot of businesses, when they grow, their profits don't go up. But that's the type of people that we help. They have, again, they go from 50 to 100 plus members, from 100 to 200, 300, 400 members. And again, this is individual to who is in that mastermind. We guide them every step of the way. But to bring it back to some of the, because, when we go into the, I'll call them 5 pillars of marketing. I covered one of them. One is referral marketing. Okay. The one that I'm talking about right now is offline marketing, which I think has a huge opportunity. And I'll you know what? Before we even go into this, I'm going to drop all the different types of marketing offline that you can do. Will I be able to actually cover every one of them? No, but I will go into some of them. So we got sponsorships. We got charity events, which I'm the biggest fan of. You should be doing charity events. I'll probably touch on that. Billboards. And look, billboards make sense. If you have an irresistible offer on a billboard, they're way cheaper now too. And in your local area, you might have to spend that much. Lead boxes. Look, lead boxes. I used to go to Super Supplements and Vitamin Shop, and I would drop a lead box and the lead box would say get 30 days of results in advanced training. Drop your email, your phone number. You get a bunch of shitty leads. But the thing is, every week I'd show up, there'd be 10, 12, 8, 15 of those little papers filled out, because we'd say hey, apply to win, right? And of course, and we would actually give one person the free 30 days, and we'd call everybody else up and give them a week, right? And I would go drive around, and I was getting tons of leads. Now again, some of them were not great, but this was very low cost marketing, offline marketing. And I built relationships with all these supplement stores as well. So, because we tell them hey, listen, we're going to send everybody over here so that they get their supplements. So things like lead boxes, flyers, partnerships with local businesses that are more demographic based, and then partnerships with local businesses that are geographic based. Direct mail. Now, direct mail is going to be some paid stuff. I think you got to be a good copywriter and have some good examples. We give some good examples inside of our group. Ads in local papers, column in local papers, wrapping your car. Now, listen, I'm not going to wrap my car, but I think wrapping your car, if you have a car to wrap, is actually great because you're driving around and you have dope offer. It's very clear what it is. And you have like, hey, text us to get your 3 VIP workouts. People are texting you, right? Text is just the quickest way now with something like that. Like I said, we have gym owners we coach that wrap their cars, and it is successful. They get multiple leads per week from that. Giving out cards, offers in parking lots of grocery stores, setting up tables outside of businesses, setting up tables at local fairs, getting massive signs. Like for instance, High Def Physical Therapy that we partner with that are inside of our business. They have a massive sign outside. People walk in like every week. They walk in and go like, "Hey, we saw that you got physical therapy. I'm a local. This the local PT that I saw. I'd like to get my first assessment." Sandwich boards, different guerrilla marketing tactics, right? So there's a lot of that, and I'm going to go back here because again, if we look at the 5 pillars of marketing, we got referral marketing, we got offline marketing, organic social media, which I'll touch on, email marketing, and paid digital marketing. We'll kind of flow into we'll definitely cover today some offline, organic social media we'll cover, and then email marketing I'll cover, and then we'll have to come back and do more. Maybe we'll even have to split this one into 2 series. We'll see. We'll see how Tyler feels about this. I think he's gonna need to get a energy drink himself. But let's go to the sponsorship, because here's the thing, right? Most of the times, these are a waste of money. It's like, hey, listen, will you pay us XYZ money and we'll put your logo on a board or a banner, we'll give you half a page, all that stuff, right? The thing is, you got to do things a little bit different. And I pretty much tell them like, hey, look, if people reach out to me for that, I go like, hey, look, we don't do it that way anymore. And while I want to support, so for instance, if it's a basketball club or a school, an organization, those people are always looking for money, right? And if they ask you hey, we're looking for $500, $250, how they give you the different package deals, I'll usually respond something like this. Hey, listen, appreciate you reaching out to me. And if they know me, I'll obviously have this personal kind of conversation, email wise. If not, I'll just say, appreciate your email. Hey, unfortunately, I don't do sponsorships like that, for those type of brand promotions. But I would like to participate in a joint venture where we'll contribute, $500, or I usually start on the lower side and negotiate. In exchange for 3 emails sent to your list about a special discount program we could create for your members. So maybe that's a youth program, maybe it's adult program. But again, and I'll say hey, let me know if you want to talk about this or get on the call. And most people, not everybody, but most people be like, yeah, that's awesome. They just want to generate money. They're not great with email marketing, right? And so then what I do essentially is, we've done different stuff before too, where we would give half of, for instance, the proceeds of the front end offer. So imagine that, I would send out 3 emails to promote, and the emails will be coming from them, right? Would be coming from that person. So if it's a coach, for instance, in a basketball academy, and we're promoting a 8-week basketball, speed and agility program, it's going to come from that coach, right? And we've done stuff where we've actually given half of the proceeds back to that organization or booster club, right? Which was a double whammy. Or where we've done stuff where we said, hey, listen, we'll give you this much for sponsorship for these 3 emails, and on top of that, we'll pay you a percentage of the program towards this. Which for them, look, they're trying to raise the money. A lot of times they'll say yes to that. And the thing is, you might get some no's, but what's cool is that it opens conversations, right? It opens up the door. I like to get on the phone with those folks. I like to get in front of them, shake hands, and get to know them and figure out how we can make a deal. But I don't want to be on a banner. So sponsorships are great. What's cool about this, that once you find out the people that are trying to raise money, you can reach out to them and be like, hey, I'm a local gym. I'm a local fitness business owner. I'm a local coach, and I'd love to sponsor the program. Do you have any opportunities for that? Now, they might go yeah, we do. We could put you on a banner, and you go hey, unfortunately, I don't do that. But I would love to sponsor you guys for $500 if I could send out 3 emails that promotes a discounted program for your members, right? So just know that that makes sense, okay? And that could do really well, because if you got, like, for instance, my friend Kelly Edwards has a basketball academy that has, 800 to 900 kids. So if we do something for those, and remember, there's different segments of kids, but let's say it's 300 kids, and you get 10% of those kids, that's 30 kids into a program. If 10 of them, 15 of them can, not only 30 kids pay, but then 10 stay to do ongoing stuff, like that's, $250 to $300 a month. It's $2,500 to $3,000 a month. Just to give you an example. This stuff works, guys, and it's just like most people aren't doing it. They're just like, I made an Instagram post and I didn't get 10 leads. What the hell's going on, right? And not to say IG is not good, okay? But it's for brick and mortar, this stuff is way better. So then you also have things like go into like, we got Renton River Days. We have different fairs. We have a downtown car show that's vintage cars that like blocks off the whole of downtown. You can get, a table at those fairs, and they're usually cheap, or like running. There's a 5K, there's a 10K, there's a Seahawks 10K, there's all types of different stuff, right? So here's the thing, like most people get this wrong too. You have to get something something of value to raffle at these things. So again, like if you got, a t-shirt or some, whatever, things that people are just like, whatever, man, because you want to get emails from them. But like, how do you raffle stuff? Well, number one, you give away like 2 months of personal training valued at $1,200, right? And then you got another one that's like 2 months of group training valued at this, that, the other, nutrition consultation. We've had like Nike gear, like where you get a basically gift card to get all your gear for training, right? So, and again, so you got to have that, and you got to have something fun to attract people to your booth. So it could be, we've done things where we do like 15 minutes of mobility every 30 minutes, right? We've done mini workouts. And the thing is, you can't expect people to just jump in, although they will a lot of times, but, bring some of your members. So like, for instance, bring 5 or 6 members. They're either, you're doing 15 minutes, you're doing mobility drills, like, hey, listen, guys, join us if you want your hips, neck, shoulders to feel better. And then the next one is like body weight exercises, right? So it's attracting people. The other thing that we've done tests, vertical jump tests, right, with the just jump. We've done broad jumps. We've done push-up tests, right? Because people want to test themselves. And again, it's like if they test themselves, like we give them a t-shirt, right? So that's stuff that will attract it, because what you want to do is you want to be able to, first of all, do cool stuff. Like we've brought prowlers out before, and prowler suicides, and, people get engaged with that. They start filming and tagging and whatever. But I want to get their email addresses and want them to sign up for these raffles, because now somebody's going to win that, right? We're going to give somebody that win. For everybody that participated, it's like, hey, thanks so much for participating. Unfortunately, you didn't win, but you did get, 3 VIP workouts and, 1 semi-private personal training session with us. You can sign up for that until the end of the week. Let us know which times work better for you. Like give them an A/B option. And again, like you're going to have a lot of people that may not respond, may say no, but if you got 50, 60, 70, raffle tickets and emails and phone numbers, like you're going to get 10, 12, 15 people to take you up on it. And again, what do you have to do? Guess what? Follow up, right? And also have a handout. It's a direct response handout. Direct response handout means like, you probably got a before and after picture on there, sort of customer success story that people are like, wow, like I want to have that. And an offer, again, an offer. So for us, it'll be to the result, 30-day results in advance program. We're going to, like, that's our main thing. And we just smash that like as much as we possibly can. Again, you got to follow up after events like this. From there, like, listen, JVs, joint venture partnerships, they can really, like, while you might not be getting, I would say, 10 people next week when you have a JV, but like we have an excellent joint venture relationship with our chiropractor, Dr. Brett Bershilly, with high def physical therapy. Like I said, now we have a med spa moving in. We're creating a JV partnership with that, like hair salons in the area. And again, like those gift cards that I talked about earlier, here's a great way, and I'll give you, like, for instance, an example of a hair salon. Going to that business and going like, hey, we got clients that go here, they love, they love your business. And what I wanted to do is create some value. And one, I'd like to invite you, the owner, right? And I'd love to give you 30 days of VIP training. It's valued at like $600. And I want to coach you myself. If you're the owner, I would start with that for sure. Let it be you, right? Build that relationship. Also, I'd love to give you these VIP gift cards where this pays for 30 days of VIP training for any of your high-end clients, so the people that spend the most money with you, that you can say that you paid for them. And I would say, as the owner of for instance, the beauty salon or the hair salon, you'd go like, hey, thanks so much for being a member. I took care of this. So it's 30 days of training at Vigor Ground Fitness and Performance. Right now, again, they might be sending, even if they send a couple of leads per month, maybe they become a super referrer, which is like they send 10, but you can do that with like massage therapy places. You can do it with physical therapists, chiropractors. A thing that high-def physical therapy does exceptionally well is like they build relationships with doctors and go take them out to dinner and, hey, how can we help you? Like, what's in it? Think about what's in it for them. Local business owners, this is an excellent thing. Like restaurants having menus, and go like, hey, can we do a healthy menu? And we'll send all our members to your restaurant to get the healthy menu. So maybe build a bowl and it's like the Vigor Ground healthy menu, and do that with a couple restaurants locally. And the thing is, when they put that menu out, right, under the Vigor Ground healthy menu, it can be like, to get your 3 VIP workouts, go to and send them a link. Again, these are the things that when you put in place, and you have to nurture those relationships, it's important. But listen, all the stuff that I'm saying is $0, right? $0, right? It's time and it's hustle. And honestly, you should be building a relationship in the community. And it's something that, like, I think, and again, as I'm going through this, I got examples of emails to send out, things like that. It's something that you get in our mastermind program, yoguragym.com/mastermind. Shameless plug. This is the thing is like also, building your angel list. I would even do like, so even though, people sometimes are like, hey, this is, free isn't good, this, that, the other, but think about like, local celebrities, like, the top real estate people, and going to them. It's like, hey, listen, like, I really want to show you like what we do and want to deliver value for you. I'd love to start training you. And it could be like one or two. Like I actually did this, calling it the Human Billboard Program, where I went to some people and I started training them for, like, they paid, but it was like they paid $199 a month, and I was training them like 3 times a week, in a semi-private setting, which would be like $700+, right? And of course, like, they're super, super connected. So I was getting referrals from real estate, from a local restaurant owner, right? Again, hair salon is a great example where you'd go to those folks, especially at the beginning. Like I said, we call it the Human Billboard Program. I'm like, listen, I'm taking on a couple strategic people in my Human Billboard Program. Like, here's what it is for the next 3 months or 6 months. Like, I'm going to give you like $1,500 or $1,000 worth of training per month for just $199 in exchange for, I want to make sure that when you get these amazing results that, you share them, you leave us a testimonial, you bring in a lead, a friend a month, you can make different rules. Like we had 1 a month, 2 a month, so on and so forth. And sometimes some don't pan out, but some of them pan out like gangbusters. Like it's like they became the super referral engines. So that to me is like building your own like local angel list. Like, who are the people that you want to work with, and go offer that to them. And like I said, especially if you're starting, this makes a lot more sense too, or it's your first year or two, because then again, like, these are the people that talk, these are the people that connect you with other people. It's a smart idea. I've had success. Like the part when I did it, I had a lot of success with it. But then again, we grew and I didn't need to do that anymore. But you know what? Like right now, I would do that, or I'd coach my coaches to do that. Again, I'm sharing a lot of stuff too. Like some things I used to do and maybe I don't do anymore. And even as I'm telling you about it, I'm like, shit, I should be doing more of that, right? I'm just giving you the strategies, like all of them. All right, so, man, we're moving. We're moving over here, damn it. I told you guys it'll be a masterclass. I can't even cover everything. But let's look at like some of the core events. And, these events can change. We've done a lot of things over the time. You've probably heard of different challenges. I shared an internal challenge that we're doing right now. Actually, I've been giving this idea to a lot of people. Nobody takes me up on it. It's kind of crazy, but I want to just give you guys ideas of core challenges, like stuff that, again, we've done, or that we're about to do, things that like are some of our business coaching clients are running. So one of them is that, like, I actually have a landing page for this one done. It's like with the video, with the whole shebang. It's a small business transformation challenge. And what it is that like, I mean, obviously it's been a very rough time for everybody, but small businesses especially. You know, they got crushed during COVID, including, like I said, and I'm a small business. I've been a local business that's been in the community for 15 years now. So, you know, in the video, even I shared that, I said, hey, look, it's been one of the hardest 2 years for small business ever, right? Not only have, you know, we've been crushed and disadvantaged and this and that, the other, and still made it through. It's also the hardest for health, for employees, right? Like mental health, physical health, you know, we're getting people in hearing how challenging it's been. So what we want to do is we want to give back to the community, and we're doing a free, yes, you heard it, free small business transformation challenge, which means that every small business can apply their employees for 30 days of training at Vigor Ground on me, right? On us. We're going to do it on us, like you have zero payment, zero, nothing, and you'll have access to our award-winning team training. So our 45-minute team training sessions. Not only that, we're going to do a nutrition kickoff seminar to teach you about sustainable fat loss results. We're going to teach you about health, and then we're going to outline the 30 days for you that you can create a catalyst, feel better, build more energy, lose some weight, build strength, build some muscle, and build camaraderie with your team. So it's like you can become more productive as a team. You can get supercharged. And there's like, what, you know, what's the catch? There's no catch. Like literally, like this is what we want to do for the community, for small business. And at the end, you know, just like a lot of people that try us out, maybe you'll choose to continue with us. Maybe your company will choose to do something. If not, we just want to help you get started and get the most out of it and build some sustainable habits, right? And I'm literally pitching the small business transformation challenge to you like I do in a video, right? Straight up. Now the thing is that the Chamber of Commerce, like when I shared that, then what they said, this is awesome. Like people are reaching out to us. So they sent out an email initially and asked how many people would be interested. We got 32 businesses in just one email that said, hey, we'd be interested. And that's without promotion, marketing, anything else. Now, when we launch this, we're going to market it. So we're going to market it to the community. We're going to run ads to it. And, you know, I would say that the problem that we could run into is that, you know, imagine like in Renton, there's thousands of small businesses, right? 900 in the Chamber of Commerce and thousands on top of that. So if you get 30 businesses with an average of 4 employees, you get 120 new people doing this challenge, right? And again, even if it's smaller than that, it makes sense. And you can do that multiple times per year. You can do it in January or February. You can do it, you know, pre-summer. You can do it in September. So this is going to be the first time that we're going to be running it. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about giving back because even folks that wouldn't join have so much, I would say, goodwill from you, and we'll talk about it, right? So that would be a contest, a challenge. Then you just have 42, you know, my friend Andy McCloy, we're just on the phone, like we do a lot. Actually, we're working on something together too, but a program called Strong 42. So it's not, you know, it's just not based around like fat loss and losing weight, but it's about getting stronger. Right, so performance markers. So Strong 42 would be a 6-week program / challenge that you can get people into, and you can outline these. In like throughout the year. So for instance, right, it makes sense in January to have some type of program to get people into. Then pre-summer is always a good time. You know, September. I don't like doing too many of these. It's just strategically, you know, locking them in. And the thing is that like, you know, whether you're running ads or not, if you do a good timing and you have again, if you have like this irresistible offer and offer so much value, you're going to get people in. Even if you're starting off, hey, you might get 6 people in or 10 people in or whatever else. But an idea, and like this is kind of based on, I can't remember where I heard it, but I got it in my notes here, is like doing and you can do a competition, a challenge, the sweepstakes in a way, to give folks, you know, you're going to pick 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, however many you want to do, to get a free 6-week transformation, like full all-in, full contact coaching, everything. And, you know, for that, first of all, when you run this, you're going to get, usually like you'll get hundreds of people to apply, right? But you actually do pick like 6 or whatever you chose. And you follow them. It's, you know, and the thing is now you might be like, oh, well, I don't have a camera, or I don't have, you know, somebody to like edit this, that, the other. But you don't have to because you got this, right? And you follow them and you show people everything that they do, their workouts, their nutrition, you know, like the behind the scenes stuff. And of course, because they joined the program, right, and they applied and they got it for free, that's part of the deal. Okay, and so now imagine, because the thing is like what you want to do, like listen, in your community, you want to create a buzz around like that small business transformation challenge. I mean, sometimes I'm like, I can't believe I'm saying this shit and giving it away on podcast, but I want you to take me up on it. I want you to do it and like create impact in a community. It's going to create buzz around your business. You can do press releases for stuff like that. And guess what? That press release, you're going to get news and local media, and free marketing, right? Just that one idea. I'm sure I've shared a lot of ideas, but that one idea, if you follow through on it, like it'll do crazy stuff for you. And then, let me hear back about how good it is. But then something like this, like getting people signed up and going like, hey, we'll follow you, we'll document everything, because then folks are appealed to that stuff. Like, hey, what are these guys doing? Show them. Like, that's why I put so much of my stuff on YouTube, my program design, my, behind the scenes stuff. Like, I'm just teaching and educating, because as Frank Kern says, when you show people what you do, like everything, they trust you. You're like, holy shit, these guys are giving me everything. They believe in themselves so much. That's why I'm giving you so much here, because I want to show you, like, this is what I do day in and day out, and I want you to get results, right? Because when you get results and you really want to like grow your company, hopefully you reach out to me to understand that, like, this is what I do. This is what we help people do, and you'll grow your gym, right? But that's an excellent idea, because you'll generate a ton of leads, right? And guess what? If you get hundreds of people to apply for that, you pick 6, you interview them. The other people, you can still go like, hey, listen, you didn't win this challenge in human billboard sweepstakes, but we're going to give you 2 weeks of VIP training on us, but we only have so many spots. Please let us know. Again, strategy, offline strategy. You don't have to spend money on it, right? And so from there, like when you look at holidays and stuff, right? Like me personally, like, so there's a couple of times we run promos. One is my birthday is June 5th. One is Black Friday that's coming up. Those are paid in full promos, and we actually get a lot of cash in on those, and that's the strategy behind it. But holidays are a great way to promote and do like quick, I would say, flash promos, flash sales. One that's super easy is like Valentine's Day, like 2 for 1. Get 1 trial, I should say 2 trials for the price of 1, right? 2 results in advance programs. But Memorial Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, Father's Day, Mother's Day, St. Patrick's Day, President's Day, Cinco de Mayo, MLK, Daylight Savings Time, you name it, right? Good reasons. Again, I personally, I know people that promote the hell out for everything they got to offer. Me personally, I don't like doing that, but we will use some of them. Like Valentine's Day, we'll do a 2 for 1. Like I said, Labor Day and Labor Day we usually do we do stuff. July 4th we do stuff. So there are times, and again, these are offers where you can send out offers through emails and get leads. One of my favorite ones, seminars. This is the most underutilized. Like, please trust me on this, okay? Seminars at your gym, or even, like I said, if you work out of another gym. I started doing seminars at LA Fitness. Now, LA Fitness, you needed hella permission. So, when I went to my fitness director back then, it's like, hey, I want to do a nutrition seminar. Like people need help with nutrition. Oh, great idea. Let me check. And then it would go up 19 levels, and like you never hear from them. So I just did it, And I remember the first one, like I had 12 people there, and I signed up 4 people into some training, some packages of training. And they got mad at me, like, hey, why did you just do it? Like, I said, hey, like I had 12 people in, I signed up 4 people. And they were like, oh, well, okay, next time, wait. And it's like, but actually they were happy, because all they gave a shit about was sales. But what started happening when I was doing these like mini nutrition seminars, I was positioned, like people were like, yeah, that guy, he's the nutrition guy, right? Because I was the only one in the gym talking about nutrition. And then later on, like at Vision Quest, I started doing a lot of stuff. I mean, I was running seminars, doing workshops, talking about different supplements. Like everybody was scared of taking the mic. I was like pushing myself to like talk in front of people, because then everybody started asking me questions, because I was the expert. When you put yourself on stage, when you put yourself in front of a camera, when you are, people are like, oh, right? People fear public speaking more than they fear death. And so, true story. So, which is why you want to have the courage to lean into that. Now, the seminars, like that was one of the things that, like at Vigor, you can actually go on YouTube and pull up like nutrition, Luca Holster nutrition seminar, and there's at least 5, 6 of them. There's a habit seminar I got there. I got a speech seminar. Like I recorded these and gave them away for free, by the way. Even though in some of the seminars, some of the nutrition advice I gave, I wouldn't give it anymore, like the older ones, because obviously I grew and improved my knowledge about that too. But my point being is, like, the biggest seminar that I had at Vigor, we put up a landing page and say, hey, sign up. You got to RSVP, you got to sign up and put your email in to get access to this seminar that I'm doing for free. We had 240 plus emails, and 180 people showed up. There's a picture still on my Facebook that you can pop up. I had 240 leads for this one seminar. Now, at that point in time, I didn't have an excellent offer. Matter of fact, I crushed the seminar, made no offer. Dumb mistake, okay? But all those people were like, wow, this was so good. It's like an hour and a half seminar, right? And the thing is, you're positioning yourself as the expert there. So what's cool about that, guess what? You do a seminar. We've done ones where it was, pay it and we'll give it all to charity. Some of it was just, hey, low fee, because you get more serious people. We did a lot of free ones. Obviously, you get more people. And you name it, we've done it, right? And like I said, a lot of them, not all of them are recorded, but a lot of them are recorded. We're doing another one on October 4th to launch this internal nutrition challenge. Guess what? I'm going to live stream it on Facebook. So now you can invite people to the seminar, okay? You can live stream it. Again, you don't need anything. You just need this phone right here, right? And now all these people on social media are watching it live. And when you make the offer at the end, all the people online are seeing that offer too. And what I like to do is go like, hey, listen, if you're anybody that's not already signed up for the challenge, if you're here at Vigor, jump on it. Today's the last day that you can sign up. Go to the front desk and, get signed up with Tosh. But if you're watching this online, text this number, right? And text us nutrition and we'll get back to you. We'll get you signed up for this, right? The cool thing about it, this lives now online. I can promote that. I can boost that in my local area. I can download it, put it on YouTube. I can do a lot of stuff with it. And I don't need to spend any money, right? I don't need high-tech camera work. I need some decent lighting and an iPhone, period, right? And guess what? If I got two phones, I can stream one on Instagram Live. I can stream one on Facebook Live. And so now imagine that reach. You don't need to spend $1, by the way, right? Now, again, we could do a mobility workshop. We've done those before, right? We can do a workshop on strength training. Like your expertise, run these seminars and at the beginning, make them free, get people in front of you, make an offer at the end of the seminar. Most underutilized thing I've ever seen. I will talk about this at every event and then it's like 99.9% of people don't do it. The one person that starts doing it or two people that start doing it hit me up and go like, yo, got 8 new leads, new clients. Man, that was so cool. We got picked up this many emails. Somebody asked us to go speak at their company. Blah, blah. Always good things happening, right? And you're getting ahead of the curve, ahead of everybody else in your area that's not doing the seminars. You don't need somebody to put you on. Put yourself on. By the way, first change in the game seminar that we did. You know why we did it? Because I was like, I'm really good at this stuff. And I'm not going to ask to speak on big stages. I want to put myself on a big stage. I'm going to create a big stage. Now, there's a lot of risk and a lot of money and a lot of failures there, but it elevated us, right? And so just to know, same thing is at your gym or wherever you're at, because most people won't want to do it. So if you work out of a big box gym, remember, I just told you guys, at LA Fitness, I ran my own nutrition seminar. And at Vision Quest, I ran seminars for everything, right? Actually, at Vision Quest, I basically was like, hey, every Wednesday, I want to do an in-staff for coaches. And the first time, one coach showed up because kind of like, this guy's going to teach me what? Like the whole ego shit, right? By 6 months, we'd have 10, 12 people, and I'd be teaching like the hierarchy of fat loss and like kettlebell workshops. And I was educating the team, giving value, and then they would be like, oh man, like you want to train with kettlebells, Luca's the guy. They would refer people to me, right? So again, how can I deliver value? How can I position? And then I would study and prepare for it, and deliver it. I'd also get better at public speaking and presenting, right? It's a superpower. Remember, 4 skills that will never go out of style that will help to make you money. Writing, so if you're excellent at writing, it's going to make you money. Speaking, okay, that's going to make you money. Now, speaking in front of the camera, speaking on stage, right? Speaking. Number 3, sales. You sell, make you money. And 4, leadership. No matter how the world changes, you know how to do those 4 things, they'll make you money. So with that said, on the seminar front, here's another way to do it. We've done this a lot before with physical therapists, and it is to collaborate. Bring in a doctor. So, they send out an email like, hey, listen, we're going to have a seminar at Vigor Life Fitness and Performance. We're going to have a naturopathic doctor. They're going to talk about hormones. Luca's going to talk about nutrition that's sustainable and simple to do. We're going to have this physical therapist talk about blah, 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 right? You bring those people in, you build those relationships, they send out to their email list and to their social media, and bam, you can build it up, right? And what's crazy is, like, for instance, I just found out that not far from me, there's a chiropractor with like 250,000, I would say, Instagram followers, that somebody that I know, a good friend of mine, Megan, now goes to, guess what? We're going to try to connect and do like a mini seminar at the gym. Megan's the Sounder strength coach. So we're going to have her present on what we're going to see. But obviously sports performance for soccer, can bring that chiropractor in. Again, these are opportunities that are right in front of you. Like nobody's reaching out to do that. You can do that. And again, as the caffeine kicks in, I'm getting more ideas, damn it. Okay. So the big thing is with the seminar stuff, like, hey, put up a landing page so you can capture emails, because that's a big thing. Capture text or capture emails so you can always follow up. This one that I love. Okay, so I'm going to lead you to somewhere. So charity events, okay? Like, I could tear up right now talking about charity events, how much they mean to me. It's one of the great, charity events help me not only give so much back to the community and continue doing that. About 5 years ago, I did a program called Evolved Enterprise. I bought a book from Yannick Silver, joined a program called Evolved Enterprise, and filled out a form about how I do Evolved Enterprise in my business, and talked about charity boot camps. Also that we teach charity boot camps. So all the people that we coach in business, we help them start charity boot camps. It's one of the best things that happens for them and for the community. And I filled that out, but long story short, I ended up winning an award and I got invited to Necker Island to spend time and hang out with Richard Branson, one of the best experiences of my life. He's an entrepreneurial hero of mine. And again, so this has led me in a lot of places. A lot of good things will happen when you do charity events. But rather than, for me, like, here's the deal. Like, when you do good and do most of the stuff in your community, not to say you should do things for things that matter to you, but in a local community, you're lifting the community up, okay? And the community will lift you up. But to make this simple, if you haven't seen, so I did an interview with PTDC, Personal Trainer Development Center, that John Goodman started, and they did an interview with me all about charity boot camps. And we created a guide. It's free. You don't have to download. You don't have to put your email in or anything. If you go to Google and go PTDC charity boot camps, I don't think you even have to write Luca in, whatever, but just write that. It'll pop up right on top of Google. Click on it. It opens up. You don't have to download it, whatever. It's step by step how to execute and crush a charity boot camp event, like a FOMO event where you're going to have 50, 100. We've had 200-300 people at some of these events, and it's insane. DJ, raffles. I also outline how to generate leads, because, for instance, when we have a 150-person boot camp, like half of those people are non-members. That's 60, 70, 80 people coming that are non-members. So this is where not only you can make an offer at the end, and for example, like let's say we're raising money for ACE Excellence, my friend's organization that does scholarships for African American kids and educate, and we do a lot of stuff with them. So if at the end I say, hey, listen guys, just for today, for right now, for our results in advanced programs, usually 197, we'll make it 147, and we'll give 100% of the proceeds to ACE Excellence. So now you got all these people that support ACE, go like, well, hell yeah, I'm doing that, plus I'm gonna get 30 days of training. So let's say we get 20 people, we raise another $3,000, we cash a check, we got 20 leads now that we can, in 30 days, give them the best experience and results and then convert them into members, right? The other people that didn't sign up, we can follow up with them, because if you're doing it right, when you're doing a charity event, what you do is fill out the basically waiver, and in the waiver, ask for the email and the phone number, and ask how you follow up. And the way that you follow up is you say like, hey, thank you so much for helping us raise, whatever amount of money, things that you raised. We couldn't have done it without you. Because of that, I wanted to offer you 10 days of VIP training at Vigor Ground. It'll get you 2 semi-private sessions, up to 3 small group personal training sessions, a nutrition blueprint, blah, blah, whatever it is you want to offer. Hey, but please let us know. We only got 11 spaces for this. We just checked the schedule of the coaches. So you got to let us know by this date. Boom, 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 follow up. You'll get some more leads, right? And if you do a charity event once a month, like remember, we went for 15 years doing it once a week, 700 events, and we're continuing to do them. But if you do one a month, that means you got 12 opportunities per year, and you're building positioning and authority in your community. Speed demos and like agility workshops, like these are great. Reaching out to, I would say, different coaches. Like I said, think about every sport that you have field sport, from basketball to football, lacrosse, soccer, right? And then some of them are easier to get into than others. But doing speed demos is, what you need is a relationship with a local influencer. But that means it's like a coach, somebody that runs the booster club, And ideally, it's like, look, third to eighth grade, but you can do whatever. We've done everything that you can imagine on this front. But reaching out to them is like, and you got to have a relationship. Like the cold, I mean, you could do a cold thing. Like I used to do, like I just wrote out a list of all the different sports, all the different schools, all the different departments, and would reach out. And that works too. But if you have a relationship, it's so much easier because then you can go and, for instance, send out an email. Ideally, I would call. I would preferably call people like that. But like, you know, it's like, hey, Mike, hope all's well, your family. I wanted to touch base and see if you'd like to offer free speed training demo to your athletes. Let me know. Right? It's very short. You're just trying to get a yes and go from there. And then plan an event. You want to create a landing page so that people opt in, because again, we want those people's emails, and then we want to offer them some type of thing on the back end, like an 8-week on-field speed program, right? So it's like, hey, it's not just north-south speed. You're going to be faster at your sport. We're going to do an 8-week program, and you can follow up with emails to get that. Okay, that covers just some of the offline marketing. Because again, as I was going here, we talked about setting up a table outside of businesses. We talked about flyers and lead boxes and billboards and charity events and sponsorships. So we touched on some of those. Wrapping your carbs, as kind of like, you know, setting up tables of fairs. We talked about that. Sandwich boards, we gave an example there. Again, look, I'm trying to pack in as much firepower as possible. But let's go, like, here's what I want to touch on for sure. We'll finish off with email. We'll do paid digital marketing another time. I won't mention some of it, but organic social media. So this is going to be the last part in this masterclass. And like I said, I may just continue this and dive deeper into this. I could talk about this stuff for forever, right? So organic social media. So let's look. We got, like, what are the things that, you know what? The big picture that you have to look at, no matter what the platform, that we have to understand platforms. So whether it's Facebook, whether it's IG, whether it's TikTok, whether it's YouTube, blogging, is, you know, thinking about how the person consumes, right? So if you try to put a hour-long video on Instagram, it's not the best bet, right? But on YouTube, that can work just fine because people consume content differently, right? And so just understand that. Now, my biggest thing here is this, okay? When people are like, what should I post? Here's the deal. Step number one, what you create with content is this. It's think about that client that we talked about, your avatar, right? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna create content that solves many problems. Remember, educate, entertain, and inspire. And many problems mean, so let's say, you know, your client comes in and they wanted to get leaner, but also build some lean muscle and build strength. So I have some multiple goals there. Okay, cool. Take each bubble. So like think about weight loss and fat loss, right? That's like a big goal, big bubble. What does that constitute of? Well, that person to drop body fat and keep the lean muscle, they're gonna have to probably strength train. So under strength training, you could put how many different posts, right? So many posts, because you could do posts about the form on exercises, on different exercises, and coaching them. Regressions. You could go and give templates of programs that you use. I do a lot of reels where I'm like, here's my small group personal training program. This is the exact one that we're doing. Just take it, check it out. This is how we get results. In that bubble, you could also talk about nutrition, but then nutrition breaks down into a lot of different things. Emotional eating, like maybe a lot of people struggle with that. Your clients struggle with that. How to get more protein in per day. And then you could have tons of posts about that, right? What about nagging pains? It's like people are afraid to lift when stuff's bugging them. Okay, great. Mobility exercises, little what I call like movement hygiene routines. You could do 100 of those. You guys have seen me do tons of those, right? Like, hey, here's a dynamic warm-up. Like, hey, here's 6 exercises I like to use to make my shoulder feel better, my hips feel better, this, that, the other. Here's my movement flow as my recovery. Here's my rebound workout, right? But the thing is, all you're doing is you're creating content for that one client that you want to get 100 more of them. That's it. So that means like what I do is like I write out all the content ideas that like for that client, right? So I'll get an idea like if I'm talking to the client, they're like, you know what, I'm really struggling with this. Boom, I'm writing it down. I'm creating that, right? So I'm constantly jotting down the words that people say to me, like the sentences. Man, no matter what, I really have a tough time with a sweet tooth. All right, like 6 ways to get rid of your sweet tooth craving, right? Boom, and that could be a carousel. That could be a reel. You guys see my reels when I'm talking about business and we put subtitles below. You could do that. You could do 20 of those in a row in one day. You don't even need, here's the thing, there's an app that's called Captions app. Now, it won't look as nice as when Tyler does it. You should reach out to Tyler, right? Because he's a ninja. But you could just make captions for free with, I don't know, it's like a $10 app or something like that, right? The point being is, like, you could do a ton of those, and you're talking to your potential clients that are just like the clients that you train, and you're solving their problems, snippets, right, of those problems. Now, you could do something inspiring, and again, do a little reel of your client and be like, hey, here's when they came in, like, here's them deadlifting 80 pounds, you know, and they're 50 pounds overweight, and like, hey, here they are 4 months later, you know, 25 pounds down and lifting 240 pounds, right? Inspiring. So again, start there, right? When it comes to content ideas, start there. People that you follow that you like the way that they create content, follow them and then save it. And then when you're like, oh, I like how they did that, cool. Like, you do that too, but just share your own content in your own voice. One of the things, like, research who has your audience, right? So this is one that's really big. And think about this, and then create variations of content with your experiences. So my friend Sean Hyacinth, who's also helping me write my first book, and it's gonna be a book it's gonna be like how to succeed in the fitness industry. We're talking about a fucking, like, the Bible of it. And he used to be the editor of Men's Fitness, and he would tell me, like, they spent $50,000 per month testing headlines, okay? So if your audience, for instance, is men that are like in the ages of 35 to 55, right? That's a men's health, men's fitness audience. So if men fitness spent the money, right, already for so businessmen 30 to 50, same audience as men's fitness, men's health, T Nation, right? Well, guess what? They've spent 50 grand a month doing those. That's why sometimes people are like, dude, why are you buying men's health and men's fitness magazines? I'm like, because I'm looking at the content. Because these guys spend so much money on headlines, on the content that they're doing, like what people want, and that's some of the same audience of the men that we're coaching. So here are some headlines, for instance, from that you can tweak. Now, maybe you'll disagree with some of them, okay? Maybe you'll disagree with some of them, but that's okay. Tweak it your own way, right? So get back in shape, a brand new body in 28 days. Okay, that's a men's health headline. 30 protein-packed meals to help you lose weight. Remember, now, you can make a blog out of this. You can make a video out of this that goes on YouTube, on Facebook. You could make a carousel post out of this on IG, right? All of that. 10x your life. Get more done, waste less time. Flat Belly Fast, the 28-day plan. 7 power supplements for men. Build a back of steel. Think about that one. Build glutes of steel. Build a back of steel. Build arms of steel. Like, we go all and all along. Age erasers. 5 ways to look and feel younger. Great. I mean, remember, they spent 50 grand a month to test these out. Your action plan to drop 2 waist sizes. 97 seriously smart strategies to recharge your life. Get your body back. The best exercises of all time. Obviously, but like, these are pulling people in. Bench 20 pounds more. Deadlift 50 pounds more, right? Study stuff. Okay, so I'll go like on Athlete X, Jeff Cavallari's YouTube. And whether you agree with some of the stuff he says or not, I'm studying, like, he has the biggest fitness YouTube channel, right? With I think it's like 12, 13 million people. I look at the thumbnails and I look at the headlines, right? Get bigger arms in 22 days. You can't build muscle and burn fat at the same time. How to feel amazing every day. Just do this. Again, look, be in integrity with, but use these things that you know are working, and that's how you can create content. And again, look, this can be some of the things that I'm talking about. You can talk about in your emails, okay? Because again, you can email market, and you can do that in your IG profile posts, in your reels. You can write a blog about it. You can do longer videos that go on YouTube. You could go, and you should go, live on Instagram and on Facebook, because they love that. Right? Matter of fact, not to go back, Mark Zuckerberg said, the future is reels and the future is live, okay? And the better you can get on camera, the better you get on, like you can communicate with your audience like that. It's a superpower. Okay. So that's the content part of it. And then you start basically think about being just blocking out time, because this is one of my biggest things when it comes to content creation, like or post on organic social media, is to be able to block out time and create the content. Now, look, I do stuff every day. Like right now, we're here. I'm speaking in San Francisco at an event. Tyler came out to film it, take pictures, but then we shot a vlog earlier this morning. Instead of going to, the all white dinner party, that I'm like, you know what? I don't need to have drinks tonight. I'm on 2 panels tomorrow. Why don't we shoot a podcast and shoot more content, right? And so again, like I'm batching this together, but every day with my phone. Remember, you don't need all of that. Okay, it's great to have some good lighting. These phones are so good now; they can do so much crazy shit that like you can't tell me like, oh, I don't have the resources. Listen, man, I started this game like 20 years ago. I started a gym 16 years ago. None of this was around. My phone, if I took a picture and showed it to you now, we'd all be laughing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how bad it was. And nobody was posting shit on anywhere. So you have like this amazing opportunity really and the thing is, all you have to think about is like, I am solving problems for the people. I want this to be useful and valuable when I post it, right? So that's the organic part of social media. Now, we can dive in and like, I'm sure we'll have future episodes where I specifically dive in on certain platforms and how to do things there. But it's very valuable to do collaborations too. And the collaborations don't have to be with like, oh, well, Luca, you're doing collaborations with somebody that has 1 million followers and this, that, the other. But no, like you could do collaborations with local businesses, small businesses, a real estate person that has a bigger following, right? And talk about, for instance, like how to have more energy and be more productive. And like, hey, if you're moving around and sitting in your car a lot and selling homes, this, that, the other, like you got some tips, right? And hey, listen, you can have them go like, hey, listen, like if you're buying homes, like here's the deal with the market right now. And you think like you're a human being. People follow you for you. It's not like just fitness, right? The kicker is there's so many different ways to collaborate so you get some of that audience. So some of that audience is like, man, I'm into fitness. I'm going to start following this person, right? And the other way around. So collaborations are really, really powerful. Being consistent and frequent is just, look, it's like I talked about this with Mike Robertson in one of the past podcasts, which was, it's like you market with either with money or with time, right? So time is like, hey, listen, if you can't spend as much money, guess what you're going to do? You're going to make the most valuable content that you can. Sometimes it can go viral. Like a lot of, I just was very consistent with posting on Facebook, the Vigor Facebook, and now has 200,000 followers, like with very little ad spend. Some of these, like we just had another video that went and got, it's got a 1.3 million views. We've had videos with 7 million views. There was a month where I had like 6 or 7 videos hit 1 million. And it was like, I'm talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of shares. Free views, free marketing. There was a month in July, we had 39 million impressions and 14 million views in 30 days, right? And I wasn't spending money. It was just the consistency, like consistently putting out good content that's valuable for the audience. And again, recognizing what's working well, so I was doing more of it, right? And remember, when somebody goes like, oh, like, look, it took time. I think we got to look at this thing, okay? There's 3 ways, okay? There's 3 ways that you can get leads and clients, right? One, and we're going to leave that for another time, is paid advertising. I believe in paid advertising, but you do have to have some skill sets, like some copywriting skill sets, being good on camera if you do a VSL. You got to build a funnel. It's smart to have autoresponders and email marketing, things of that nature. But again, and I do think you should learn your own marketing before you ever outsource, right? Nobody can tell the story like you can tell the story of your business, of your clients, and everything else, right? So this is a pitch for you to become good at marketing. So that's number 1, okay? Number 2 is the quick hitters. It's the short-term marketing. It's the things like, what John Goodman talks about, like the 5-1-60, which is just a hand raiser post, right? Like, hey, I'm looking for 5 men that are looking to have the show and go. So look and perform like an athlete, get their body back in the next 60 days, right? That's a 5-1-60 post. So 5 men, and it could be 10. So it's, 5 people, 1 goal, 60 days. And remember, you can make it I'm looking for 10 people, 10 men, right? Or we do this consistently. We give exact posts out. Pat Hennigan, one of our, like I said, assistant coach, he owns a gym in Jacksonville. He's putting like amazing posts out on Facebook, organically generating leads. We do hand raiser posts all the time. We give it to our clients. Like, hey, send out this hand raiser post, right? People will get leads. They'll sign up clients like that. We've done one for nurses, for stay-at-home moms, for like you name it, right? They raise their hand, they reach out. I think it's something you should do monthly. You should do it frequently because it will generate leads for free, meaning you're not spending money on this. And what's cool about it, if it works well, you now can spend money on it, right? But that's a quick hitter, okay? That's a quick hitter. So we got our, paid marketing. We got our quick hitters. And there's a lot of we can go down a rabbit hole of quick hitters. We got a lot of stuff like that. Actually, even some of the stuff that I share with you guys that's, offline that can be put online that can get you success. And then number 3 is long-term building relationships, okay? So really building, because this is the problem, sometimes the problem with social media is this, right? They're I'll have folks go man, I don't understand what's happening, Luca. I thought I made a good post and people aren't hitting me up. And I'm like, are you making any offers? Right? Well, what do you mean? Do you have call to actions? Well, no. So I said, look, number 1, you're focused about content, but what about having conversations? How many conversations have you had? And they're like, what do you mean how many conversations have I had? Well, how many conversations would you had with people from social media? And they don't understand. I'm like, well, number 1, if you make an offer and people reach out to you in the DMs, you're going to have a conversations. So I think this is another thing that John Goodman brought up, right? I'll track this stuff. So it goes content. So how much content did you create and what platform on? And then how many conversations did you have? And then from there is how many calls did you get on? So calls could be equivalent to strategy sessions. So a call is maybe you got on a call if you're an online coach. Maybe you sat in front of the person, ideally, if you're a face-to-face person, and then clients. So it's the 4 C's, right? We go from content to conversation, to call, to client. And so you want to track those when it comes, so when we talk about organic social media, you should track those. And then, this one of a client said, well, how do I have conversations? Well, listen, there's a lot of different ways to have conversations, but let's say, number 1, engage people on social media. So when you create a post, right, and you can ask people hey, comment, hey, out of these 6 exercises, which one are you going to try? Which one do you like the most? Or another type of question. Or sometimes you don't even ask a question and people comment on your post. Well, respond to them, but instead of just giving them a thumbs up or a fist, hit them up hey, which one of these are you going to try out? Do you have back problems? Start having a conversation. Now, when you have a conversation in the comments, is it weird for you to reach out to them in the DMs, but not pitch them anything? So let's say it was a post about drills for low back pain, right? And they're commenting and you're going back and forth and you hit them up and you go hey, look, I know I put these exercises up here, but they don't have explanations. Here's a video explaining those 2 exercises that are my favorite and coaching you through them so you get the most out of them. Hope this helps. Man, that's somebody reached out. This is normal. This is human behavior, right? You were commenting, you're conversating, you reach out to them, you don't pitch them, right? But then you track that conversation, right? And the thing is, and then with time, you could pitch them and go hey, look, I'd love to help you out with this. I got a program. If you're interested, let me know. We can get on a call. But the thing is, the more quality content that you have, the more conversations you end up having. Again, but if you make offers, you'll certainly have more conversations because people will DM you. Say, hey, hit me up in the DMs if you're interested in this. Okay? And also, this is where, the social 6-step social step. See, this was having a long podcast. Say it fast. 6-phase social story selling system, which is from Craig Ballantyne, right? And what you do in stories is you'd end up going, and first of all, it'd be an email headline, right? You'd go something the three biggest things that get my clients results, right? And you're doing a story, but it's you're also writing that up there, right? And then after that, you go hey, listen, do you struggle with leaning out and putting on muscle at the same time? And obviously, I'm making this shit up because I want to give an example. Or it could be hey, do you struggle building muscle because you always have a nagging pain so you don't push yourself? That's a bigger one that would hit, and you give them the poll, yes, no, right? They comment on it. Or should I say they engage on it, right? And then the third one is you teach. So you teach something and you go hey, listen, I found a system where we fit the exercise too. You don't have to back squat. You don't have to straight bar deadlift, right? What's going to make your joints feel better and help you improve strength and performance That's the key to getting long-term results and having longevity, right? And then number 4, from there you'd have, the takeaway is just like, hey, especially if you feel beat up, like you need to have a joint-friendly program that's going to help you build muscle, get stronger, improve performance, and longer term, help you stay out of pain, okay? Then you share the 5th step of that, you share a success story. It could be a text that somebody sent you like, hey, I feel better than I did in my 20s and I'm 10 pounds up in muscle and I'm running faster and jumping higher, right? That's a case study. Or it could be a before and after picture. It could be a video that somebody sent you. And then number 6 is a call to action. Hey, if you'd like to feel like that and get those types of results, hit me in a DM and put athlete for life, right? You made a call to action. That person is going to hit you up in the DMs. People are going to hit you up in the DMs. So you took them from content to conversation, even though it was in stories. Same thing on a profile. Make a call to action. Hey, DM me if you'd like to have that type of program, athlete for life. So the more offers that you make, selling your content, right? Here's a dope another way, okay? Like, and the thing is, just on the social media part, I could probably do a week-long podcast on this. But I'm going to try to punch out as much as possible. When you go live, so let's say I go live and I just post this over here, right? And I'm going live. And first, I could even say like, hey, listen, guys, I'm going to go live tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'm going to answer all the questions about this. Drop your questions below. Drop the questions. If there's no questions, so what? Because you're like, oh, I don't have a lot of followers. You pick the 3 questions that like come up a lot and you go live and you're answering these questions, okay? Say, listen, so one of the struggles we have, one of the questions that came up from our clients is this, and you explain it on IG, you're going to IG Live. This is a Frank Kern strategy, right? So I'm creating content that's valuable for the person, but then in between, let's say after the second thing, I go, hey, listen, guys, by the way, like I have a program that you could, whatever you want. You got an ebook, you got a coaching program, you got a whatever, right? Hey, by the way, I do have a program that's made specifically for people that want to feel more athletic again, whether it's flag football, pickup basketball, like they want to be able to run, jump, feel athletic, move better, not have joint pain, but also look like an athlete, right? Get leaner, stronger, have that athlete physique. So I run a coaching program where I help men individually every step of the way like that. So if that's something that you're interested in, hey, just shoot me a DM. Okay, going on to the 3rd thing, right? So I'm continuing my content. So it's just hidden in there. It's not a pitch. It's like, just like, hey, by the way, right, let me tell you about this thing that I do real quick, boom, and then I go back into the content. Which means that the more of that I do, the more leads I'm going to get. Maybe do one IG Live a week, one Facebook Live a week where you're doing that. It's free. It's free. It's free. Think about this. If you get some leads from that, guess what you do? Boost the content, right? Spend $50 boosting it. If you're a local coach, boost it in your local area, right? So think about this. Like, look at the frameworks that we're talking about, right? And again, always, like I always say, go back to if there's something that entices you, there's a piece of content that like, man, I really like this coach, the way that he's doing stuff. Okay, cool. You start doing stuff like that. Okay, and you'd be like, oh, am I copying him? No, you're mirroring them. But even if you're copying them, think about this, okay? Yoshi Yamamoto, a phenomenal designer that said, copy, 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 and you shall find yourself, right? And I believe that's true. Like people you look up to and you inspire, do the things like they do, but do it in your voice, right? Do it from your perspective. It'll be unique. And again, so just think about like have a schedule for delivering value to people, okay? Again, going live, you don't even have to create a post and write it. You don't have to, do copy and take a dope pic and edit it and like cut the reel. Even though those things are not that time consuming, like you just go live, right? And then you can add subtitles to your live and then post them as a reel. Like there's so much shit that you can do. It's wild, right? Like when me and Tyler shoot a video for YouTube and it's a longer video, it might be like 20 minutes long. I'll just be like, hey, look, can we chop it up into like 2 to 3 minutes for maybe Facebook and then maybe a 60 to 90 seconds for IG Reels, right? So now I make one piece of content that can go on 4 to 5 different things, okay? So that makes it effective, and that's what you can do also with things like blogs, right? Like I said, one of our coaches, Pat Hennigan, I mentioned him like 2 or 3 times because he does great work with this. Like he will post, he'll write an email for his list and then he'll take that and post it on his Facebook, organic, right? And literally have a call to action there at the bottom. And then from there, he can make a blog out of that too. He can put it on Google Business Profile because Google Business Profile will bump your stuff up if you do that, okay? But you're doing one piece of content and you're repurposing it multiple times. So you're now, like I said, what I call, the web of content, right? Because now this is what's crazy. Google did some research that like for somebody to become like a trusted fan, they have to see your stuff 570 times or something like that, right? And for you to make a sale, you have to follow up with a person, and I'm talking about like they have the seventh time on average, okay? So again, we're back to like they gotta see a lot of you, okay? And you can do that while you sleep when you use this media and these channels in a way that's helpful and beneficial for you. So again, like, what we covered today, because I know we're running pretty damn long, and I really hope and believe that this was a masterclass on how do you grow your business from the marketing side of things. And we still haven't touched on, and like I said, I'll do a separate one on it because we haven't touched on email. I'm going to do one that's just like straight up email, I think, and paid advertising. Maybe we can piece those two together and do a separate one. Maybe we can do one in San Francisco before I leave. I don't know. Maybe, right? But the kicker to this podcast really is that, look, this was kind of a masterclass. This is, again, I could keep going on and on and on and on and on about this, but none of that would matter. Like if I keep going on, there's a lot of things that I mentioned here that like what matters is that you go like, I'm going to go do, oh wow, I'm going to go do this, right? And you go do the thing. And when you take action, you're going to get results and you're going to get experience. And maybe it won't turn out exactly like, I'm not the person that's like, hey, listen, man, you're going to put this up and you're new and you're just going to get 20 clients. Like, listen, it doesn't work like that, right? Let me create that expectation for you. This shit is work, right? All the things that like I share this stuff for free. It took me like 20 years to learn a lot of stuff, experience a lot of this, fail, you learn from the failure, get wisdom from it. And like, man, I want to give it to you because I believe that like we as coaches, like, look, the state of the country is the worst it's ever been in health and fitness, right? We're on the front lines. We're fighting this war. What I said at the beginning, that it's your duty. It's not only like, look, there's like legitimate change that we can make. We got to make it from the inside out. I want, like, if you got 10 clients, I want you to have 50, 60, 70, 100, right? So many that you're like, shit, like I got to create a waiting list or I got to hire some coaches or I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. If you're online, I want you to coach hundreds of people. I want you to create content that's going to reach millions of people and help them change, okay? Like this shit that I'm sharing, like if you do this stuff, it'll change your life. It'll change other people's lives. It'll change your life. But it's not going to be easy, okay? None of this stuff, like this is not easy. Like I said, what's difficult is scarce and what's scarce is valuable. If everybody can do it, then everybody does it and it's fucking like not really that special, right? But listen, can you be on top of following up like every single day? Can you do 30 to 60 minutes of lead generating strategies every day? Can you spend, every day creating content is going to add value to the marketplace? Can you write a blog post for a year straight? Can you write 2 emails per week for a year straight? Can you put 2 to 3 IG posts up for a year straight? I'm not saying do all of those. I mean, if you did all of those, holy shit, your life would be so different in a year, right? But maybe start doing one of those. But that's hard. Most people can't do that, right? Run a seminar every 4 to 8 weeks. Run a charity event every month. Tell me where you are like 6 months from now, like doing that. But to do that takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of, I would say, discipline, right? Because there's all this shit pulling you all these different ways. You're probably spending, 3 hours a day not doing shit on your phone, just scrolling through. And look, I've been there. I'm not judging you, but it's like you want to achieve some amazing shit that most people don't achieve. Like you gotta be different. And your day should be aligned with who you want to become, period. It's like, I want to become the best expert coach, and I want to have 50 online clients and 30 in-person clients. I want to make 250 grand take home a year. And I want to be able to be the person in the community that does this and start this charity and so on and so forth. Okay, what does that person do? What does that person's day look like? How do they have blocked out time for creating content? Do they get up every morning and instead of having a ritual of an hour and a half of cold showers and meditating, rum crystals, and look, I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just saying, like, maybe you just get to work and get shit done first, right? And get the ball moving forward and get momentum, right? Again, your week is outlined. It's like pop, 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 pop. You know every fucking hour of your day and 30 minutes of your day, how it's helping you achieve your goal. Not just in the business side of things, but also in life. Time with your family, getting your own workout in, being a lighthouse, shining a light in a community of what things like show people, right? Be an example. I'm saying, like, listen, all this stuff that I'm sharing means nothing if you don't go, like, I'm going to do this shit. And I'm going to put it, boom, I'm going to do this every week. I'm going to do this every day, right? It's non-negotiable. And the thing is, like, from the day you listen to this podcast, if you take this seriously, guess what? Fucking 6 months from now, like, you'll be like, holy shit, I don't recognize my life. But hopefully this is a wake-up call, because it's all good and dandy and we can talk about this and there's so much value given. But, like, I give a shit about the people that hit me up and said, listen, man, I listened to that and I took action, and, like, I kept doing it. And it wasn't perfect, but I kept getting back on track. And, like, now I'm here, and it's changed my business. It's changed my life. And, like, man, I believe, right? And then, hey, it's your duty to teach others, right? Both on the side. For me, it's, I have two duties. I have on the side of fitness and the side of business. It's also the reason why I wanted to get back on this podcast, because it's like, I know there's going to be people that listen to this. And again, like, the best thing that you can do for me, hey, listen, if you found this valuable, if you feel that this was useful, do a couple of things. Share it. Share it on social media. Share it with your friends. Text it to somebody. Be like, listen, you want to grow your business? Listen to this shit. Okay? And the thing is, honestly, it doesn't even have to be fitness. It can be wellness. It can be any service-based business. Like, this stuff will help. Okay? Go on Itunes. Leave it a review, right? Because the reviews help. The comments help. It helps it spread. Okay? Do those two things. And number 3, which maybe should be number 1, take action on this shit. That's the best thing that you can do. All right? With that said, again, guys, look, this show is sponsored by Yo Grow Your Gym. And that's my coaching and consulting business with Steve Krebs, where we help gym owners and coaches grow their business, keeping them accountable, guiding them every step of the way. Also taking things to the next level, like, when you're at that place, investments, buying buildings, so that money works for you. And you can go and check out yogrowyourgym.com/mastermind. And like I said, fill out that form. We'll get in touch with you, see if you're the right fit for it. But with that said, love and appreciate you. Thank you for listening to this long. But again, I wanted to give you as much as possible in this masterclass. I'm going to be doing more of this. Watch out for more shows coming up. We got some incredible guests, a lot more solo appearances by me, teaching and educating like this. And man, it's so good to be back with the Vigor Life Podcast. I will see you, actually, you'll hear me soon. Peace out.